spreading round from that birthday town. Not that shack outside the graves, you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna know. To that home graves, I got a lot of nice girls there. Have mercy! You was fine, and you got the time and the tin to get yourself in. Here is time, most every night. No, but now I might be mistaken. Come on, Slam, let's head up.
Okay guys, let's do this. Let's see what's happening with this one. gonna check the chat, see what's up first. Yeah, it was a recommendation from yesterday, from a member, I think. Okay. I got to have a shot for what you got is all so sweet. You gotta make it hard. I'm gonna check chat, see if everybody's here. Brokeback Mountain soundtrack. I have no idea, but it's good. I like it. Be careful, playing music on your channel, you can get copyright strike. I think I'm too small of a YouTuber for anyone to care, actually. Okay guys, so let's start. Let's relax a little bit and see what's up with this. So first of all, welcome. Let's see a lot of people who are new, lots of people who I already know. I'm gonna do an analysis on this one. My Discord is already up to date with this. What's up? So I'm gonna start first with the 1 hour time frame. Let's see what's up with it. Okay, so I think what's happening to this one right now is that Bitcoin is already into that CCA corrective wave, and you can see it keeps breaking down level after level after level. So now it's around 42,900, and every time it's trying to get back up, it's trying to at least reverse this downward push, downward momentum. There's no volume behind the move upward, basically. And you can see that mostly if you go to your 1 minute chart. If you go to your 1 minute chart, you can see the selling volume is huge actually compared to any green volume that's out there. You can just see right there. So these 1 minute spikes or 1 minute volume spikes are huge compared to the green. So there's basically nothing there. There's no bulls. Bulls are not bounded. And you can see that every time you have this huge selling spike, this volume over here, the bulls step in, but it's just too weak. And the volume just decline. We tried to have a nice push here to the upside actually, but again the selling pressure was too much. Again another push and then lower volume again. So basically people are trying to push the price up, and you can see how the price is playing too much between the blue, the green candles and the red candles on the green candle. But indicators are showing that the correction is still here, so you can have some ups or some downs. We're bearish on the. I'm gonna start. Okay, we're bearish on the 1 minute chart. Then we go to the 2 minute. We're bearish also. That's cross. Then we go to the 15 minute. We're bearish as well, death cross. And then we go to the 1 hour bearish death cross, which is, oh my god, around 45.5 right now. And we broke down actually from this triangle that I had, this symmetrical triangle that I had. Now there's some good news for the bulls. I'm not gonna be bearish. There's some good news for the bulls as well, if Bitcoin does decide to make all-time highs sooner or later. which I'll talk about later for sure. But yeah, you're bearish on the 1 hour. You're bearish on the 2 hours. Let's see the 4. You're bearish on the 4 hours. 4 hour crossed over here. I'm pretty sure you're bearish on every time frame except the probably the daily, which you will be bearish soon as well. Let's see the 8. Yeah, the 8 just crossed right now, but you can see it's way above. I'm eyeing this level right here for some kind of resistance. This level right there, around let's say 42.2 to let's say 41.1. That region right there. I'm just gonna keep it as a support box for you so you can see it. Can we include this wick? Yeah, we can actually. So this level right here, this region, could act as a nice bounce. Most likely I'm eyeing also this trend line of this parallel channel, which I drew a long time ago. And if you're part of my Discord channel, you know that I was saying that this Bitcoin could be in this channel right here. But I was actually expecting it to go a little bit above the channel, because it usually does that when it does its B correction. It goes above slightly, but right now the B correction is kind of weak. Let's see what fib level it took us to. Let's include this 42 region right here. So you can see your B correction took you to around 58% or 60%, so below the 618, not even above the 618. The Elliot wave that was here turned out to be a B wave. That's it. It didn't turn out to be so an impulsive B wave with an ABC correction as well in it. And I'm gonna show you how it is. So basically, you have your impulsive wave of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have your A, B, your small A, your small B, and then your big C right there. And actually, I think we can track this. Let's see. I think we can track this. Yeah, so around that support box, it's broken almost all the levels. So now it's going to this support box. You can see I'm still eyeing this level right here. If it keeps going down in this red candle right here, probably for a nice bounce. Even this region right here, it will be very good, the 42.6 region. But the problem with these bounces that are happening, that I'm explaining now, is that these are just short-term bounces. So even if Bitcoin does something crazy for everybody and does this, like that, oh, relief rally is over, we're going to the moon, just be careful, because we just broke a huge symmetrical triangle right here that I had drawn earlier. And it was actually a fake out, as you can see. So we tried to get above it, we tried to retest the support, and then we couldn't. Actually, I was telling my Discord community, I don't know if they remember or not, but I was saying that I think Bitcoin would be healthy if it retraced to that 46 area, 46.5, because it means that it held this symmetrical triangle upper resistance line. So the resistance turned to support basically. And so it didn't. Now the 8 hour is bearish as well. And you go to the 12 hour. Let's see if it's bearish as well. So just death cross right there. And you can see when you death cross on a 12 hour time frame, you have a couple of days of either correction or sideways move before a big move happens. If you go to the 1 day, yeah. So the 1 day, I was eyeing this as well. And I was telling people yesterday on the stream that I don't like this stochastic. This stochastic shouldn't be doing this when this squeeze is red and curving upwards. Actually, the stochastic has to be following the squeeze. And now the daily squeeze has another valley yet. It's doing another valley, and its ADX is sloping up. Basically, this ADX is a momentum indicator. It just shows you if there's power behind the move or if there isn't any power behind the move. And on the 1 hour, it's crazy. I actually messaged my Discord like around 12 hours ago, and I told them to be careful with this, because when this happens, it just continues and continues and ripples and ripples. So at least if we want to see a small relief rally to the upside, to at least retest these AMAs right here, which are coming in around the 45k region, 45. I would say 45. You need this to start curving down at least on the 1 hour. I mean, minimum on the 15 minutes you need to, so on the 15 minutes it's starting to look better than the 1 hour. It's still upwards, it's still sloping up, but it needs to at least start curving a little bit to the downside like this, and then this one starts to curve up like that, and then that signals some type of upward move. Now, I'm not going to say this upward move is going to take us to the moon, because like I said, I think this is a C wave correction still. And you need Bitcoin to just find the local bottom that it wants to find. I'm gonna go to the 1 day again just to check one thing for you guys. Sorry about the messy chart, by the way. So yeah, I was eyeing this, and this is about to cross already. And I was telling people maybe around weeks ago if we were somewhere here, this region, and I said if this does cross, you could just say the bear market is confirmed for everybody, because Bitcoin is it is doing what it was doing in 2014, and it's just repeating itself. Now people say it's this, it's that, it's news, it's I don't know, someone did this to Bitcoin, but I don't think it's news, because when someone like me is telling people, or someone like Inversible, let's say, or many of the other TAs out there that were also predicting these dumps, if people like me and we're telling you guys that be careful, there's a level here which you should take out your profits out, and be careful, this might be a downward trend, and then I show you evidence, and then we tell you like be careful, we might go to this level, and we start reaching these levels. You cannot just sit there and say, oh, okay, this is the news that did this. You need to start understanding that TA does help you in some way. So we're finding some support in this box region. Let's check if it's strong enough for it or not. Yeah, so it's not strong support. So Bitcoin can just, if the selling pressure keeps going, and which I think it might, if it does, I think it will just cut this level easily, and then it will probably go to the 40k region first, and then probably consolidate there. Maybe we'll try to do some upside, maybe to around 43,000 again, or 44,000, that area, and then basically continue till it reaches its C wave. Now C wave, I told you before, it has some levels that it needs to reach basically. We can also measure C wave now that we potentially have our B wave. So let's say this was our A wave like this, and we had our B wave. So we'll see from the top of A wave. If I can make it accurate, I'm gonna include this wick on the downside just to check for some confluence right there. So yeah, right now 618 as always, confluence for the box. This is actually a nice zone for nice bounces that happen basically. The 618. Next, after the 618 is the 40, then you have 38. So C wave technically retraces to around 1 to 1.23. That's why I put this right here. In rare cases, or not in rare cases, but in bad cases, it does retrace to the 1618. In our previous dump, it did retrace to the 1618. I'm not saying it will go there, but there's a chance, of course, for it to go there. Especially if we don't hold this trend line right here and we start breaking through the 618 and going down more. But I think this level of resistance for Bitcoin, it will be resistance for Bitcoin from around 42 to around, let's say, 38, that region. You see the small wicks to the 1.23. So, and it's confluence with the C wave. The good news that I have for the bulls though is that slightly clear. The good news is that you can have a potential bullish 8-hour divergence. So I'm just going to down the ADX slightly. I'm going to up this slightly so you can see it. So you're basically making I'm going to take it from here. But this is kind of exaggerated, I think. It's not going to do much for Bitcoin from this area right there. From here, you have actually it was a bullish divergence on the daily time frame, but now it's not. It's actually now just nothing. Price is doing nothing. Let's go to the 8 because I think I saw one in the 8. So on the 8-hour, also very bad. The ADX just started to curve upwards again. And I'm just going to give you an example of when Bitcoin did this ADX curve to the upside, and of course I think you already guessed where it is, with a daily, with a 1 hour, with a whatever. So this is our dump, and this is where Bitcoin did the ADX was up. This is also another one, and the 8-hour ADX was up. So you can see what happens to the price. You dump, you find some type of resistance somewhere, you wick out, and then you start consolidating, either making smaller highs or higher highs slightly, and then you keep dumping basically till the ADX decides to just curve down. And you can also see this on the lower time frame. So if you go to the 6, it just is it's just making confluence with this. So you can see right here, you dumped, ADX went up, blah blah blah. As long as the ADX is up on many time frames, confluence basically, you expect Bitcoin to do this. And I'm gonna go to the 4 hour. I'm gonna just show you the main hours that Bitcoin did this. So again, same thing, same position. ADX just went up, it stayed up. It needs to cross this line, the 0.23 by the way, to be a confirmed selling pressure. But it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. Even these small curves that you see, they're just basically small relief rallies that Bitcoin does. And then up, up, up till it finally decides to cool down slightly and enter this consolidation phase that it had. And you can go to the 2 hour and check it and track it as well. It's basically the same thing over and over, repeating itself. So this is our dump right here, and you can see the ADX starting to curve up more, and then suddenly you had this bullish momentum, so the ADX started to curve down. But this is just the relief rally. You start entering things like staircases, so stuff like this basically, which are bear flags over bear flags over bear flags. So you can expect Bitcoin to bounce, and you can see it's bouncing right now. It's 43.4. So these are actually nice trades to take if you have knowledge. So you just 42.8 to 43.4 with little bit leverage, you get good money for this. But yeah, Bitcoin even here when we were at around the 50k region, even though the ADX on the 2 hours started to curve down, right? As long as the higher time frames are curving up, this is just bad for Bitcoin. And we can check the daily, what the daily was doing as well. So let's check the daily during the severe dump. So you can see the daily, what it did. The daily basically just started with a dump like that, and then the ADX kept going up. And this ADX up on the daily, it just means that this whole choppy scenario that you're seeing is not gonna end. Even this, when the daily started to curve down, you did have some few days of upside. But if you go to the bigger time frame, that's where you get scared for Bitcoin. And if you go to the 3-day time frame, which I was also warning about. So on the 3-day time frame, this huge dump was due to this. So this is the good news for the bulls that I was talking about earlier. That basically you have this ADX sloping down here. So till now it's not looking as bad as this. So don't expect another 1618 retrace unless this decides to curve upwards. But the bad news about the 3-day chart is that if you go to the to basically the 3-day MACD, you can see that the 3-day MACD entered basically cross bearish. Now we could be doing a similar scenario to this, where we dump strong for a day, even here I think we dump strong for a day, and then we try to form another lower high. But I think we just did the first one, so this is confluence with that, something similar to this. We did the first one already, and this high, and then you can expect Bitcoin to do another lower high from here, because it's starting to make lower lows, so there's a change in trend. Now the funny thing, or the weird thing about this, which I'll explain later about, is the 2014 chart, which is actually insane when you look at it. It's just basically a copy of this. But this is what worries me the most actually. But this needs time to play. Similar to 2018, similar to the whole consolidation thing, which I'll show you later. Bitcoin does this whole huge dump, and then finally it reaches a place where it does a strong pump, a rally, and then it cannot hold the EMAs, and then it breaks down. And these EMAs basically are these ones, and I used to tell people that these are the EMAs where Bitcoin might retrace, and you can see that Bitcoin does retrace to these EMAs, the 18 and the 30, so actually kind of close to them. So the 30 is coming around $42,000. But once Bitcoin does this, it's just basically showing signs of weakness. Combine this with a here very well, I might say, and we also pumped here very well, I might say. So let's see, around so let's see. So yeah, around like 50% pump to the upside, which is kind of similar to what we did with Bitcoin over here on the left chart in 2021. And then after that 50%, the squeeze started to turn basically dark green and curving downward, and it was about to turn flip green. So this flip green is basically a very good sign for Bitcoin. It usually pumps a lot after this flip green. It means that you see, even here on the left side, once you flip green, you just pump crazy. What the 2014 did is once that squeeze flipped green, you had this huge wick, this huge dump basically in 2014, a consolidation phase, then a lower high, and then a dump basically. And now in the Bitcoin chart, it's doing the same thing. So you had this squeeze about to turn green, and once it was about to turn green, you had this huge weekly drop, this basically huge dump. And then right now you're looking similar to this because our week still hasn't closed. So our week can close like this, for example, basically, and then do another high basically. So it's possible. I'm not saying Bitcoin is gonna keep doing lower lows and lower highs and go down straight down. So it's possible to do some scenario like this because this is a weekly chart. But on the daily, I think it will do lower highs and lower lows. Till it reaches a nice place, and then it will probably go up same as this, make people excited again, and then dump again. And the funny thing about this is the MACD as well, as you can see. So the MACD, when 2014 had the strong rally to the upside, the MACD crossed bullish on the weekly, and then it curved and crossed bearish on the weekly basically. And now if you zoom into the MACD, to the weekly MACD, you can see the same thing happening again. So you cross bullish for a little bit of time, you consolidate basically, and then you are about to cross bearish again. And the stochastic finally, which is the indicator that really helps you understand where this goes, is crossing bearish and under the 80 level. So if it's above the 80 level, you're kind of okay. As long as you don't close a candle under the 80 level, you're okay. You might just fake out and do another pump to the upside. But once you start entering that 80 level, under the 80 level region, you basically just go down from there. And you can see even when 2014 reached its all-time high, you can see once it started to enter the 80 level, it's all the way down basically till you go to that 20 level, correct, and then pump up again. And like I said, right now we're looking worse than 2014 because in 2014, even though we did go to that under that 80 level, we did try to go back up again. So Bitcoin can do that, but when we did this for the weekly, we were around 72. Right now we are around 62. So basically that explains the bigger dump. And yeah, so this is just crazy. Now if we want to make sure 100% that Bitcoin does enter into a bear market, which again, my personal opinion, we're already there since 65. And everyone is entitled to their personal opinion. I will give the bullish scenario at the end of the stream, or just after I finish this analysis. But if you want to make sure that Bitcoin does go into a bear market, you need these two to cross. Once these two cross, it's over. This is just basically over. And I'm prepared to put my reputation on the line for this because it's something that I've seen Bitcoin do and many stocks out there do over and over through history. Now on Bitcoin chart, which is it's a good news for the bears basically, for the bulls, sorry, this hasn't crossed yet. So I'm gonna show you though the similarities as well. So this weekly fake pump to the upside could have been noticed here, which I did and which I told people about. But of course, when people see the green to 52, they start yelling moon, moon, and that's why they always get wrecked in bear markets. They just don't have technical analysis knowledge. Now you can make money in bear markets, by the way. Don't be scared about that. And I don't think we are in a bear market. I think we are in a corrective phase. I think we're just gonna stay here for around 4 more months or something, around that area. 4 months, 5 months, maybe February, March, or Jan, that area 2022. We bottom out there, and then we probably start our next bull run there. That's just my personal opinion, by the way. But yeah, so these faked out here and these faked out here, and the similarities with the indicators are the same, and now everything is the same. And even here you can see how we tested that 30 EMA on the weekly chart, and here we're testing it now. So these are the warning signs of be careful. And usually when you do test these 30 EMAs on weekly charts, is what Bitcoin does next is that lower high basically, which I assume it will do. So again, on the daily, it looks like it's going to keep doing lower highs, but on the weekly chart, it could still go for that. It could be still an A/B correction. So don't think that Bitcoin is going to go straight down in a straight line. There is a chance that Bitcoin could be, because you know every wave has a wave, so it's basically waves in subwaves and other subwaves. So we could be in a big A wave correction to this area, maybe around the 30 EMA, and then we have our B pump basically, which could take us to this region, which could take us technically again to that 49K region again, and then a dump with a stronger C wave to that 35 region. Now keep in mind though, if we do start breaking this 30 EMA and start closing under it on weekly time frames, or at least on daily time frames, then I think that this whole A scenario to the upside is just invalid. But you should remember, nothing goes down in a straight line, so you need to expect pumps. Even if the price is super bearish, you need to expect some type of pumps here and there. So yeah, this is my analysis for the Bitcoin chart. You can see the support box is holding right now for the time being. So once we start seeing some bullish signs on the shorter time frames, you can expect some rally to the upside. The squeeze indicator on the daily chart for Bitcoin is suggesting upside though. So even though it's looking super bad for BTC, this squeeze indicator, as long as this ADX starts to slightly curve down, then you can expect some upside for Bitcoin. And you can check that in your own charts. If you go basically to the lowest, the 6 hour, the 6 hour is kind of legit to show you where Bitcoin might bottom out. And the best example I could give you is our dump right here. So our dump at 53, we dumped severely basically, and then the ADX was curving up on the 6 hour. So as long as this ADX is curving up on the 6 hour, it means that anything lower than that, any time frame lower than this 6 hour, is basically gonna be any upside on lower hours is just basically gonna be relief rallies, so fake pumps basically. And you're gonna keep dumping hard, like a choppy sideways action with the level of resistance being tested over and over. So this is what happened. As long as this ADX was up, Bitcoin kept going down, till finally around this region right here. You can see here, right there, that 6 hour candle right there, which is by the way, even though people are saying this is it is manipulation, right? But it's closed how it did close without that huge wick. If you imagine it without the wick, because I think the wick is just manipulation in that case when this happened. When it did close like this without the wick, it looks like a hammer, like a candle formation, which is called a hammer, which is a reversal candle. So yeah. Combine that with your indicators, and you get your upside basically on the 6 hours. So if you're a bull and you want to know where this choppy sideways action might end, because like I said, if you go down to the lower time frames, you could be expecting something similar to this, where you have a strong dump till it finalizes around this area right here, and then the next 6 hour candle turns green, and then you have your choppy sideways action. And as long as the ADX is up, you're still going to be in a choppy sideways action. And then or you could experience more dumps, by the way, if the lower time frames show dumps. If the lower time frames show slight pumps and the higher time frames still showing dumps, then just expect rallies to the upside and then dump, and then rallies to the upside and then dump. Some kind of sideways consolidation, or lower lows, lower highs. Either works. So in this case, we did lower lows, lower highs basically. So yeah, in this choppy scenario right here. And by the way, just a reminder, if you didn't watch my last stream, this is an inverted bearish flash formation again for Bitcoin, same as our previous bearish flash formation where you have your A move, your B, and then your A, your B, your C, and then you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and after your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you retrace. And usually, like I said, if you watch my video about my huge analysis about where Bitcoin can go, I did say that usually this C wave needs to retrace to more than 100% of the B wave. Now, if your B wave was around that area, which is 48 or 42.8, then this wave right here, which we are in right now, needs to retrace more than this wave right here, or than this wave to the downside here. And it did. Technically, right now, it has retraced. So we dumped here to 42.8, and now we reached, oh my god, 42.9 or 42.5, basically near that 0.618 retrace level. So technically, the bearish flat in this daily scenario did play out according to Elliot and according to Elliot waves and according to rules and guidelines. So that's why I love rules and guidelines, especially using Elliot. And here, this huge bearish flat formation, this huge inverted bearish flat formation, which is basically a mini version of what we're seeing here. We can compare them side by side, by the way. Actually, let's compare them. Get clear hints of what's happening here. So this is, let's go to the 6 hour here as well. Double click that. Zoom out. It's so important to zoom out all the time. Fix your charts. So yeah, and I'm gonna go to the daily here because on the daily it looks more legit. Again, let's fix this. Okay, so what's happening here with Bitcoin right there? This is our huge inverted bearish flat that we had since basically May, and now we have our mini bearish flat again, which is basically a copy and paste of this. Even the highs are the same. So of course, price action does move in different forms and shapes, especially wave formations. But you can see the resemblance is very uncanny, especially with these double tops right there, as you can see. Very, very similar to this. And now after this final wave happened, you have your A correction to the downside, and now in this mini bearish flat as well, you're having you had your C correction basically after this huge move. Now you're in it, and now you're basically are in that retrace after that C wave is reached. So usually when you reach C wave, you need to retrace to more than 100% of A wave. And A wave basically took you, if you don't want to include this wick, you can say that A wave finalized here around 43.3 or 43.4. So basically now your retrace, your C wave retrace, has been completed technically, if you just following the guidelines, because the guidelines say it could go more than 100. Now how much more than 100? There's no specific rule about that, but it can just be more than 100. So if this played out here, this might play out very, very, very likely. So these things you need to take care of these things basically. Now for Bitcoin, if we want to go to our Bitcoin chart, let's use this one because it's more clean. Let me use another one. You can do fresh analysis. KuCoin. Yeah, KuCoin. It's clean. So Bitcoin, I'm gonna go to the 6 hour because it's the most reliable. On the 6 hour, you have your bearish MACD, your bearish cross basically, and you can see usually throughout rallies. So let's imagine this is a mini bull run basically, a short-term bull run, right? During these short-term bull runs, which are let's say on the 6 hour time frame, these EMAs, the 18 and 30, they never cross even when they correct. They come close to crossing, but they never really cross. They sometimes fake slightly, but you can see the price action when they fake slightly, and you can see this price action when we dump this, and this is not the same. So no one can come and tell me this is a fake out. This is just a legit breakdown with force as well. And you can see, for example, if you choose to say that this is the Bitcoin's rally basically, and this is your BTC support line, then you can see that you've broken your support line with force, So my TA class, if anyone's watching here, they would appreciate this for sure. So you broke this with force, technically forming a lower high, and if it's not a lower high, a lower low, sorry, and if it's not a lower low yet, because this wick is pretty similar to this price action right there, to that one here, in price, I mean, then this looks very, very scary and very weak. So any move you're gonna do like this, just be careful, and basically BTC is giving you some chance to reorganize your portfolio and to take out some profits if you can. I'm not saying get out of the market completely. This is again not financial advice, but I'm not saying get out of the market completely, because it's actually very dumb if you leave. TA is probability, not certainty. If it were so certain, like 100% accurate, I'll just sell everything right now, because I know that according to TA we're going to a bear corrective phase till at least February. But I'm not a stupid person, so I play my odds. I play safe. I DCA during the red, I sell during the green, but I don't go all in and I don't go all out. And people who have a problem with going all in and going all out are the people who just want to get rich quickly. Basically, they want to be rich in a day. So this is something that many people in the TA space, in the crypto space, need to control their feelings, and that's why many people get wrecked in the bear market. They just don't know how to play the waves. Bear markets are not very scary, by the way, just so you can know. They're very nice because you can actually accumulate a lot of crypto during the way down. But how do you accumulate the crypto is that you need to be smart and patient. So when you see something like this where you have a huge downside and you have a huge consolidation phase, and you know there's a chance that it will go down, this drop is a 55% drop. So if you don't want to DCA here, where are you going to DCA at $2,000? It's not going to go to 2,000 in a straight line. And even if it did go to 25 from here, from this region right there, that's just $4,000 less than this. It's not much. It's like 2-3%. So this range right here should have been one of your DCA regions at least. And then you are the one who's responsible to see how much you're going to DCA in or out, basically. 10%, 20%, it's up to you. It's up to your strategy. You measure your long-term risks and you measure your short-term rewards if you do DCA and Bitcoin does pump, and then you calculate accordingly to how much you want. But for simplicity's sake, let's say this is a 55% retrace. So if Bitcoin is going to dump again, it's going to be another 55 till 15, right? So if I'm a Bitcoin buyer, I want to just buy Bitcoin, and I know that there's a chance that Bitcoin might drop 50% from here, from this region. I'll probably DCA around 30%. Why? Because if I do, I will just lose 15% of my capital if I do DCA from here, which is nothing. 15% is absolutely nothing. It's like $150 from $1,000. It's nothing. And then you had this upside, you DCA'd your 30 here, and then you reach this local high right here at 53. You see many people calling out the warning signs. You see the warning signs already. You see the bearish formations. You see that this is potentially a start of a bear market, which just happens with this kind of price action. This 30% now is let's say 60%, I don't know, 90%. You times 3 your money. Okay, great. At least, if you're a greedy person, at least take out your capital. If you're very greedy, just take out that 30% in. Leave the rest inside. At least now you're playing like a smart person. Now, if you're not greedy and you're just a safe, smart investor, that 90% that you made from this strong pump to the upside, you at least need to take out your capital, which is 30, and some profits so you don't feel bad when Bitcoin dumps. So another 30. And now you have 60% profit of this money that you put here in Bitcoin. And you still have your 30% there inside, basically. So basically what you DCA'd there is still there. You just now have extra money to DCA, basically. And now Bitcoin did another strong drop to the downside, as you can see, right? So what you do in this type of scenario is another similar thing. But you measure your risk to reward and you say, what is the chance that Bitcoin is going to do this to the moon from here? And then you DCA accordingly. You reach these levels, you want to put some 5-6% there, you can, because you already put your big chunk there. You want to put more, 10-15, great, put 10-15. Put half of this if you want. 10 for me would be ideal, 15 would be okay as well. You had this pump, your 15 became 30. Okay, take out the 15 again, because again you're reaching levels of danger. That's how DCA works in bear markets. You need to be smart and play the waves accordingly, because the waves are gonna look like that. And sometimes if you're lucky, you get waves like these where people say to the moon, and then that's a very good idea to take out money. But what happens usually during bear markets, if I remember correctly, my friend was actually in one, the 2017. Like I said, I wasn't in that one. I just bought and left because I didn't have time to actually think about my investment. I just put money and leave. But what he said to me is that people used to, what happened is that people used to say this: DCA, buy the dip, DCA, buy the dip. But no one explained the process of DCAing. People would DCA, if their token was 0.2 and their token goes to 0.18, they would buy, they would DCA. Or even at 0.16, they would DCA. This is not DCA. At least let your token have a 20, 30, 40% pullback to at least properly DCA into this token that you have. And like you and similar to this area right here where Bitcoin dumped first time, and then the YouTubers started to say, buy the dip, 47, cheap, Bitcoin, moon, whatever. It happened the same here. Buy the dip, Bitcoin, cheap, moon, forever. And then you ate a 30k drop to the downside. You stayed depressed for this long, and even when you were here, you probably didn't make back your money. Basically, if you just hodled through this, you just returned some of your losses probably, but you still didn't make your money back. And I know this because some of my friends bought tokens like CHZ at 0.6, and CHZ is still 0.3, so still 50% less than what they bought. And this is where the YouTube scene needs to be avoided. You need to stop watching YouTube. You need to just go open a book and learn how to invest, which is cheaper, by the way, than watching YouTube. It's less stressful as well. You just open the book, how to invest properly, and that's it. It's so easy. And then the book will tell you what to do, and then you don't need to fear anything. Once these big dip happens, you just take opportunity to just buy some things, some tokens here and there, and wait for that relief rally to take them out slightly. Now, if Bitcoin does do something like this, and then like that, and does this, okay, this is where people get trapped again. That's what happens in bear markets. People hodl too much of their profits rather than just take some out and keep some in. It's the greed, I understand, but that's what you need to control. Okay, I'm gonna go to the chat and see what's up. We haven't heard the word you said since we don't hear you because of the music. Can someone call him? Turn the music off. Music? Okay, am I? Can you hear me now or no? Hold up. What the? Can you guys hear me or no? Oh my Jesus Christ. What happened? We cannot hear you. Jesus, yes. Whoopsie, yes. Oh, okay, thank God. Okay, Jesus is here. Okay, thank you, Jesus. Okay, oh my God. What do I need to repeat? Can someone just tell me? I was just thinking that I'm doing all of it. I need to edit like half of the video. Can someone tell me where I was? Anyone just help me so I can just try to explain where I was? Everything? Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna go super fast again through the whole thing. Very, very fast. Okay, so I'm just basically saying that support box that I drew for you for Bitcoin is a potential region for a bounce, and you see that Bitcoin did bounce in this region at around 42.6. Now, what I was saying basically is indicators on higher time frames are very bad for Bitcoin. They are very bearish for Bitcoin. And I was saying that actually when we had in the morning today, around 12 hours ago, I did message the Discord group about this ADX sloping upwards on the 1 hour chart. Okay, so this was a warning sign about some drops that are going to happen, and they rippled to other time frames. So you can see the 2 hour, the ADX is up, the 4 hour, ADX is up, 6 hour, about to go up, 12 hour. Let's see. Also about to. By the way, the 12 hour looks so bad. This is just basically the start of a couple of days of badness for Bitcoin. So yeah, right now, I was saying, um, the support box that I drew for you guys was around this area, and this is where I expect Bitcoin to have some type of some resistance or some support. Sorry, so resistance to downward selling pressure. But what I was also telling you is that the bounces will come, because usually what happens is, let's go maybe to 15 first. I want to go to 15 minutes. So usually what happens during the 15 minutes and the 1 hours and whatever, your ADX starts to curve down. So when this ADX does start to curve down, okay, you can expect some upwards momentum. But this upward momentum is just basically a relief rally until the higher time frames start to flip bullish again. Then you can confirm that, okay, maybe this is the bottom right there, and then you enter whatever you want to enter. And right now the 15-minute looks like it's exhausted, but I'm not gonna believe this, because like I said, these rallies upwards do happen, and you can see that they did happen a lot of times. So here a rally upward, here a rally upward, here a rally upward to test the EMAs on the 15. So now you can have an idea if Bitcoin wants to actually go for that super rally, so just go slightly up to the higher EMAs, then it needs to start going above 44.6, 44.7, that region over there. If it fails to do so, then you can expect this staircase pattern formation, which are bear flags basically, to just continue over and over, over and over. So that's the 15-minute. And if you go to the 30, so the 30 is kind of also slightly relaxing now. You can see that the ADX is starting to move in a sideways action rather than sloping up. And by the way, this ADX is a momentum indicator. It just basically tells you the strength of the move, whether it's a bull move or a bear move. And it was a bear move since 12 hours ago, I think. But the only reason why people didn't notice this, and I usually talk to my Discord about this, is that when the 1 hour flips bearish, which was around 12 hours ago, and by bearish, I mean this ADX sloping above the 0.23 line. When this actually happens, if lower time frames catch up to this and higher time frames catch up to this or start going to that area, you start seeing your big dumps. So right here, before BTC's ADX went up, you had a consolidation. So you had a small drop here, because most likely the lower time frames were also in confluence with this drop. So the ADX was also showing some type of selling pressure. And then after that, lower time frame started to relax, consolidate, but the 1 hour ADX was still up. And then after this consolidation, basically, the ADX on the smaller time frames flipped bearish again above the 0.23. And then since it's confluence now with the 1 hour, then it ripples. Now you have 2 points, the 15 and the 1, showing selling pressure, and then you have your big dumps happen. Your severe dumps basically. And after that, again, you see smaller time frames relax a little bit, but since the 1 hour is still bearish, bam, another drop. Again, same thing, bam, another drop. And now what's happening is probably something the same, which is the same as that. So basically a consolidation, and then if this stays like that, it's another drop basically. And now what worries me a lot about Bitcoin is that the 2 hour time frame is also showing ADX, which is sloping up. And then if you go to the 4 hour time frame, the ADX has just curved to the 0.23 line, which is also very bad. And if you go to the 6, it is about to, which is also very bad. And if you go to the 8, so the 8 is actually very scary, because the 8 still didn't enter that pullback region for the 8 hour time frame. And it's just barely doing it right now, barely. So this is also very scary, and you can see when the 8 does go to the pullback region, this is what you can expect. You can expect choppy sideways action with lower lows, lower highs being made till that bottom is reached, till that local bottom is reached basically. And if you go to the 12 hour, so 12 hour basically is showing the same thing as the 8 hour, about to flip red. So basically showing a pullback on the 12 hour. Now this pullback is most likely people call it correction phase, but I'm just speaking technically. So it's a pullback on the 12 hour basically. And this is not good because basically what the bulls need for Bitcoin to go up again like that, for this rally to happen again, they need something similar to what happened here. So the the squeeze indicator was curving to the upside. The ADX was curving down, so showing lack of selling pressure. And then squeeze about to turn green. This is where you start having your upsides basically. So, and to validate this, you need to go to smaller time frames, which I will explain soon. But the 1 day, this is what's also scary for me. The 1 day was supposed to be bullish, and it was for a certain time where the ADX was flipping. But as long as this ADX stays above the 0.23 line and it doesn't go down, then don't expect Bitcoin to go in very strong rallies, basically. And you can see for sure this rally that we had here, it's just basically nothing. It's like $4,000 to the upside. So compared to a $50,000 asset, this is basically nothing. Child's play. So this is it for the general BTC analysis. The support box right now is kind of holding, so it's not bad. I'm just gonna keep it on the chart like this, just so maybe we can extend it to this area. So it's the 4240K region. That's basically your next support region. Lowest Bitcoin can go if this breaks maybe 30 this wick right here, which is around 37.3. Any lower than that, and this basically I think it's gonna melt. But I will check. So any lower than that is just very bad for Bitcoin. But I don't see it happening right now. What probably will happen now is, like I explained later before, is just you're gonna have this smaller time frames being slightly bullish, and then as long as the 1 hour is bearish and the 2 hour is bearish, everything will be bearish. There will be just relief rallies to the upside, retest the EMAs, and then continue to the downward to the downside. So like I said, first target for Bitcoin right now is to at least start relaxing people is 44.4. That's it. Okay, anything above 44.4. So when Bitcoin starts closing at least 2 or 3 15-minute candles above that region, then you start to relax more. But you're not out of the wood yet, of course, because you go back to the 1 hour, and the EMAs on the 1 hour are coming in around 45,000, so 45,500, that area over there. So yeah, Bitcoin needs to do that. Unless it does that, then just basically just something like this basically gonna happen again. And the higher you go, the scarier it looks. So the 4 hour EMAs right here are coming in around, I don't know, 46.5, and death crosses everywhere, by the way. So 4 hour death crossed up till 12, I think. So up till 12. The daily is the important one. You can see in small bullish runs. I'm not gonna call them bull market, but in small bullish runs. So imagine this is a bull market, a full out bull market. If this piece of price action was a full out bull market, basically your EMAs never cross when you pull back. This is a nice tip for the beginners here in TA. They don't really cross. Once they do cross, if higher time frame indicators like the daily and the 3-day and the 1 week are showing bearishness as well, then this is probably your bear market end, and that's what happened, your bull market end, and that's what happened during the 65K top. So the higher time frames like the weekly and the 3-day were bearish. You had divergences all over the place, and then it just was it was just waiting for that daily cross to happen, for that daily bearish cross to happen, and once it happened, it dumped. And why did we dump so severely? Because right here the daily was bearish, so bearish cross on the daily, the 6, the 12, everything. And right now, everything up to 12 hour is bearish. It's still bearish because we just started crossing bearish on the EMAs. So if this 1 day EMAs, these two start to cross, this is what you can expect Bitcoin to do right here, as you can see right there. So Bitcoin went throughout all of the rally, it never crossed bearish, and this it started the rally around this area, so it never did cross bearish. But once it did cross, you had your super drop, okay, and then you have your bounce. Basically, the EMAs tried to flip bullish again, but they couldn't hold, and then bam, everything came into play and in confluence with each other. All of the EMAs, all of the time frames from 1 to 6 bearish. So this is super scary. Now Bitcoin needs to climb back to invalidate this, right? It needs to climb back to above 47.5. Okay, and it needs to climb back above that area. Mostly I will give Bitcoin I don't know, let's say 3 days. Okay, let's give it 3 days. If Bitcoin from now to 3 days doesn't climb above that 47.5 region, then it's basically gonna do something like similar to that as well, where you drop and then you have your super red day after with a huge wick, right? And then you have your green day, and then you have another drop again, basically. Especially when the indicators start to to confluence with one another. So bullish or bearish. If they are all bearish, you pump. If they are all bullish, you dump. And this is what is happening right now. And I actually warned about this daily cross way long time ago. And many TAs out there in the space, like Inverse Bull or I forgot to, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Agres, I think. Agres, something like that. So these are good people because I see them. I don't trust people who are saying 100 here. Just that's basically it. I trust people who were calling this drop and saying 100 here. Okay, sure, definitely, because I was one of them. I was a person calling a 100 three-wave Elliot wave to the upside once we were here. But sadly, things changed in the charts and indicators do change. That's why I flipped. I didn't say oh moon no. And that's the people who you need to follow. The people who switch with the charts. Now I will say some bullish scenario here for Bitcoin at the end of the stream for the bulls out there, because there might be something, even though higher time frames don't suggest it. But I'm gonna keep it in the cards because this is TA. It's not certain. It's probable. Everything is probable here. But for now, BTC, this is the area to look out for. Expect some rallies to the upside. 6 hour looking so bad, 12 hour looking so bad. If this does cross bearish, it's super bad. And then you go to the 3 day time frame, and basically the 3 day time frame has just crossed bearish right there. And usually what happens when the 3 day crosses bearish, right, is you have strong corrections. But the difference is, so here during our rally we did cross bearish, as you can see on the 3 day, but we just pull backed basically. We just pull back slightly, and the daily EMAs, not slightly, but we just did a normal correction of 40% or 30% or whatever. But the daily EMAs never crossed ever during these pullbacks, even though the 3 day EMA was the EMAs on the daily time frames never crossed bearish, but the MACD did cross bearish. These are things you learn in TA. So as long as this is happening, you just know that these are just corrections. They're not that severe to the rally, to the run. But once you have your EMA touch that 30, your price touch that 30 EMA on the 3 day chart, and then you have your daily EMA crossing bearish, and you have your indicators showing bearishness, and you have your 3 day showing bearishness as well. So you have a bearish cross right there, you see? Even though we did have a 3 day bearish cross, we did still pump slightly. But as you can see, they were just like the last legs of Bitcoin. It couldn't hold anymore, and then it dropped. And now this could happen also to Bitcoin. It could do a slight pump and then drop again. It's very likely as well. But just the fact that Bitcoin did touch this 3 day EMA, the 3 day 30 EMA, and just the fact that Bitcoin did cross bearish here on the 3 day on the daily time frame. So confluence between the 3 day and the daily is just warning signs all over for everybody. And the biggest warning sign for everybody should have been around this area right here on the daily chart, where the ADX on the daily chart flipped to the upside, and then you knew that okay, something was about to happen. Something similar can happen like this here, and that would be very bad for BTC. If you see the 3 day doing this and this, that would wreck a lot of people, similar to this drop right here. A stochastic bearish, it could stay there for a while, which is probably a consolidation. 3 day squeeze bearish. When you see a squeeze like this, it's just bad. 3 day MACD bearish. If I pull up more indicators, you will see that they're also bearish. 12 hour now bearish, and now just waiting for the daily to see if it's gonna cross or no. It looks like it's gonna cross. Like, I don't know if BTC can do this. It usually has done this before, where it has 5K pumps to the upside. So we're not gonna rule that out. But for now, if people want to be more bullish on BTC, the least I expect BTC to do is go above 47. That's the least. Anything below 47 is just. And if you want to be more fair to the bulls out there, I will give you. I don't know how to be fair to them. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, okay, if I'm gonna be fair to the. Oh my god. Okay, more fair. 13 minutes, 30 minutes. If you want to be more fair to the bulls, at least you need to start climbing above 45.3. That's the least. Okay, that I'm giving you the fairness in the world, all of the fairness in the world. That's the least that the bulls need. And right now with this with this stochastic at the 30 minutes going to the oversold region and the price still being at 43, that's looking bad. Because usually you can see the stochastic when it goes to that 30 to the oversold area, it just pullbacks after. And if it does consolidate, do we have a place here where it did consolidate? Yeah, so here, for example, it reached that that high, right there around that area, and then it did consolidate for a while, and then after that consolidation, you just started to see lower lows till you started to drop more and more. So yeah, BTC. I'm not gonna say I'm surprised because I'm not. Maybe I'm just surprised that it didn't go to 51. It could still do that. It could still be. I'm gonna go to the weekly because it's also important, and I'm gonna talk about this weekly, which is insane. I was showing in the 2014, but I was muted. So yeah, the weekly. You have a potential MACD cross on the weekly time frame, and for those of you who have been following me since like May or something, that was my first warning sign for the 65K top, and I messaged Banters about this, but as always, no one listens to anyone. But yeah, so you see this happening, and then this is just a warning sign to just be careful, and you combine that with this, because right here when this happened, we still had a chance to just pump back up, but this is just bad. So if Bitcoin does manage on the weekly time frame to go to that stochastic level where it's just very bad, the under leveled stochastic level, so below the 20, and you have this bearish MACD cross on the 1 week chart, you're basically it's kind of over. And just to validate more if it's over or not over, I'm gonna compare to the 2014, which I was talking about earlier, but like I said, muted. So let's go to the 2014. Oh my god, I said so many good things about DCA. I don't know why I told you guys I'm very bad at tech. I really am. So let's go to 2014. Where's my rally here? It's the best example I have for Bitcoin of what it's doing. And I've told this to many people. I remember some haters in Twitter laughing about the fractal that I posted. I said I did this basically because I saw similarities in the price action, in the movement, in the indicators, whatever. And then I just did something like this because it was similar consolidation phase. And I just pulled it out. Oh, I cannot pull it up to the side. Can I do that? Oh, I can. Very good. So yeah, I just did. I think we were where we were around 42K, and I just pulled this up to around 60K, 46, something like that. I think I just put it like that. Let me see. Did I do it correctly? Yeah, so I just said that Bitcoin could probably do something like this, like a consolidation phase on the weekly time frame before dropping, similar to this consolidation phase right here. And then as always, no one wants to listen, but I'm going to show you the indicators, and I'm going to show you what's going to say for sure that it is bear, and I will put my reputation on this because for me we are already bearish. We are 65K was the top. This is a corrective phase. February probably the bottom of the phase correction, and then after that pump. Again, my opinion. So I'm gonna show you the similarities between the two rallies, right? So the first thing that you want to look at is the ADX, the MACD. So the MACD throughout the 2014 rally was bullish. There were no signs of bearishness. And then suddenly it starts to curve here, and then this is your warning sign right here around that area, basically that week right there, that big drop. And then for BTC also current bull run on the weekly, same thing. So it starts to curve, and then you have a big drop, and it's more clear than here that this is bad. So this is one of the warning signs. The second warning sign was the ADX, which was losing steam. As you can see throughout the rally, you had the ADX curving up, and then suddenly it starts to curve down. So this is just a loss of steam, basically. You don't have steam anymore in the rally, in the bull run. And you need to understand, when you zoom out to the weekly and you see stuff like this, this is basically, the weekly indicates the like 6 weeks to come. It's not like a day or two. So this just basically is telling you that your rally to the top is just basically gonna stop for a while. But if it was a correction, it would probably stop for 6 weeks, right? For at least 6 weeks, like a month, not 3-4 months. So we've been correct. We've been bad on Bitcoin since May. So that's around 4 months from now, 5 months from now. So that just doesn't make sense. So this was the second warning sign. Third warning sign was the stochastic indicator, which was very bad as well. It was showing bearishness throughout. Yet the price was going up, so basically a divergence. So you could have seen that the price was dropping, and also the RSI. So the RSI was making lower highs, but the price was making higher highs on the weekly. So that was another warning sign for people to just be careful. And when you combine them all together, and then you combine them with what I talked about on the daily, having that EMA cross, bearish cross, then you see what's up. Then you see what's going. Now another similarity that these two things have, right? So we have stochastic bearish, MACD cross, ADX curving down, showing lack of buying pressure anymore, squeeze curving, about to flip red. You had another thing, which is this fake out, this EMA 3018 EMA fake out, which both did at the same time, by the way. And this is the only rally that does this with Bitcoin. So 2011, I didn't see anything like that. Even even this fake pump right here, this fake local top, there were no crosses on the EMAs and no signs of weakness on the crosses, basically. And that's what I was talking to you about earlier. If this was a correction, these bearish signs on the weekly were a correction, they would probably last for a few weeks, not 5 to 6 months. And you would see probably nice pumps breaking that all-time high super quick once the weekly starts to flip green. Okay, you could see that very easily, and you could see your stochastic. So I'm gonna just share with you what I see for this, because many people think that this is this, but it's not. And I'm gonna show you. So first of all, let's say you were here and you think this is a bear market, which is clearly isn't, because you still have your weekly EMAs being respected and held as support. There were no close contacts with this. So you're okay, and then after your stochastic bottoms out, it starts to pump to the upside, and then you start to pump to the upside, and you can see your stochastic. So till here we're okay, but what happens after this stochastic goes to the upside is we start breaking the all-time high on the weekly time frame. Yet here for Bitcoin, the stochastic is over on the oversold region. The squeeze in the MACD is bullish, basically here in 23 August, right? You have your weekly squeeze, which is also bullish with room for upside, but the price is going down. So these are signs that, because we were consolidating rather than pumping strong. Whereas here in 2014, this fake top, you could see that the squeeze indicator was showing bullishness. The ADX was showing bullishness, which is curving up to the upside. The MACD was showing bullishness, and the stochastic stayed oversold till that high was reached, okay, after this squeeze flipped green. Now this squeeze has already flipped green, but the stochastic is going down, the MACD is going down, the ADX is going down. So everything is showing a lack of momentum and lack of buying power. There is no more interest in buying in the market. People are scared, retail is scared, basically. So this is what the similarities are with Bitcoin. And we have the similar price action as well. So you can see you have a consolidation that looks like a U, like this, something like that. And then we're having the same thing on the other chart, where we have this consolidation like this, looking like a U. And we have your fake out, and we have all of the indicators. Now, whether you want to choose that this is correct or false is up to you. I'm just showing you the charts. So now basically what Bitcoin could do is something similar to this on the weekly, where you just consolidate slightly over a certain range before finally these EMAs kind of cross, and then you go down. If the market wants to give us wants to throw us a curveball, it will probably just go like this and just start. That's why when the bullish TAs out there start to say 38 is our next target or something, with like soon 38 is our next target soon, but don't worry, we're gonna go to the moon from here. I start to think that this bear scenario is going to play out more and more likely, because no one does their research. They see green, they say bull, they see red, they say bear, and they keep just this bipolarism happening left and right all the time. They don't have a specific stance on Bitcoin. And the last thing I want to say, which I heard also from from Coinskate, I think. So I think Coinskate was saying 200k Bitcoin end of year. Then he switched to 200k Bitcoin February. Then he switched to 100k Bitcoin end of year. And then he was saying golden to the moon, breaking higher highs, higher lows. And now he's saying we have a potential retrace to the 38k region, but it's still bullish. Or he said as well, we can go to 33, but Bitcoin is still bullish. Please don't listen to that. Just please do your own research. Stop following these people. Just go buy a book. You want a book, just message me on my Twitter. I will recommend the book. You can start reading about TA and about price action and market action, price and everything, basically investments and whatever. Now, the one thing I want to see about the Bitcoin chart, which I wanted to talk about earlier, but I was muted. So now we see the comparisons and we know what Bitcoin can do. I'm not saying Bitcoin is going to go down like that. It can. This is Bitcoin. We've seen it done 30k drops in 2 weeks. So it can do that. But most likely, if the indicators start to flip bullish on higher time frames, you could see something similar to that happening here for Bitcoin, where Bitcoin does try to go for that. So basically what I'm seeing, if it's going to do this, it's an ABC correction, but on the weekly time frame. So basically you have your weekly top right here, and then you have your weekly bottom right here, which is your A, and then you have your B correction, which is this top right there, and then you have your C correction. And these C corrections in bear markets, by the way, just so I can clarify something, the differences between them and bull run corrections, basically. If you take your fib extension, right, and you go to that local top right there, to your A wave, and then you go to your B wave top, like that, you can measure your C wave retracement, basically, on weekly time frames. Usually your C waves on weeklies are weird. They are more than 1618, or at least 21618. So usually your C retrace needs to go to the 123, which is right here, basically. You can see how it tests the 123 between 1 and 123. So it stays so it holds the 1 and the 123 for some time, and then it drops to that 1618, and then it continues. So if Bitcoin wants a healthier price action than this, it doesn't need to go to that area. So, and if I'm gonna assume that Bitcoin just finalized its B wave already, so let's assume it's finalizing its B on the weekly, right? Not on the daily. So we take our fib retracement again, our fib extension, sorry, and we do this. So around that region, and let's say we have our B here, maybe something like that. Then you don't need Bitcoin to go to that 35k region, or that 31k region. That would just be more confirmation of a bear market, basically. And if Bitcoin still hasn't done its B wave, because if you see the similarities between the charts on the weekly, I'm not talking daily, if you on the weekly, its B wave was till probably this area right here. This was its low. You could have taken an average between these 2 wicks as a B wave, basically. So basically, maybe Bitcoin still has a low somewhere here, and maybe that low is that A wave to the downside, and then probably what Bitcoin might do is go for that probable B wave, if this is not the B wave already, on weekly charts. We're talking weeklies and not dailies. So Bitcoin, so the B wave could, if this is the bottom of the B wave, of the A wave, sorry, then probably Bitcoin will go to around, again, same levels that we talked about earlier, around that 49.5k region. So maybe the market will give you a chance to get out one more time, maybe. And I hope people do take this opportunity if this does happen again, because you see on weekly time frames, you don't drop suddenly if you're gonna drop, unless the market throws a curveball. But I do hope people do take the advantage of this this pump to the upside, which Bitcoin should technically do. It should technically do. It cannot just go 2-3 weeks down unless it does this. And if it's gonna do this, we're gonna see it happening for sure. We're gonna see confluences in the indicators from the 1 day, from the 1 hour up to the 3 day, and we're gonna see the ADX curving up more on the 3 day and on the daily. So when you see the daily and the 3 day ADX still doing this, then that's your probable correction period, with your probable 2 weeks to the downside, that big correction, like 50% or something. So yeah, and you know that Bitcoin is well known for 40% corrections and 30% corrections in bull runs as well. So for the bulls out there, just to tell you something, if Bitcoin is doing a normal healthy correction, Bitcoin's corrections are 40 to 20%, right? Those are the basic corrections of BTC. So let's see your 40%. So Bitcoin right now, this is the BTC normal correction in a bull run, basically, right? It could go up to as much as 40. So if Bitcoin does a 40% correction, which is healthy in a bull run, then this is not a bull run anymore. And if Bitcoin does a 30% correction, which is also healthy in a bull run, you get around 36K region, which in my opinion is also not healthy. And if it does a 20% correction, which it usually does, then this is looking normal for Bitcoin. And I say normal because the larger signs are just bearish. When you zoom out, you see the lower highs being made for Bitcoin. And you see also, by the way, that Bitcoin on large time frames has made a lower high, and it has made this low right here. So if Bitcoin does another low, which people are waiting for, by the way, the crypto space like Coinsgate and stuff, they're waiting for that potential 31K region to just say that the bear market is there. It's gonna be too late already. People should have taken into account this here and here, not here. It's too late. So yeah, my best advice for people who are scared about bear markets: don't be scared, because you can DCA in a nice way and in a smart way. Again, not financial advice, but I'm just gonna give you what I was showing on the charts for many out there, because I don't wanna make people scared about bear markets. Bear market is where you make money. Bear market is where you collect all the money that you need to actually have some type of profit in the future. If the market will allow this generation to go to the moon, you know, so if the market will allow us to get a $5 ADA, for example, then so be it, or a $10 ADA, so be it. But if the market is not going to allow us, then that's just investing. It has its risks and rewards, basically. So yeah, as you can see, BTC is starting to have this relief rallies on the smaller time frames. Let me go to the smaller time frames to just check them out fast. And you can see they are here. Yeah, ADX starting to curve down. What I don't like is the stochastic, because the stochastic needs to be here when price is pumping. That shows a strong rally, basically. If it doesn't do that, it just basically shows a weak rally. The price is not going to hold too much somewhere and then go down again. I'm going to go to the chat. Let me see what's up here. I like how everyone just shuts the fuck up and listens once the music stops. So sorry, man. I really don't know what's happening. I didn't know. I'm very bad at technology. Repeat what you think will happen to Bitcoin. So yeah, I just repeated what I think will happen to Bitcoin. Now I'm gonna tell you secrets to not be sad all the time you have dumps, and I don't want you to listen anymore to YouTubers who are just you cannot take Okay, please guys, we are in the real world. Just step outside, open your window, and just put Carl the Moon's his thumbnails pictures in front of you like that, and just say, can I take advice from this guy? Financial advice. Go to a financial company or something, financial advice company. Can you go take a financial advice from someone who has thumbnails like that, or like MMO crypto or something? Please guys, just go buy a book. I promise it's gonna be worth it. $10, $15 book is more than enough. And just stop watching my YouTube. Just go learn easier. Okay, so I'm gonna just share with you secrets now for Bitcoin to finalize what I'm thinking, right? So probably this might still be an A correction to the downside, because we do have an inverted bearish flat formation again for BTC. So similar to this region right here where we have this strong move to the downside and we had our A-B correction and then we had our A-B wave, sorry, and then we have our C wave which were in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 motions after having our A wave down again. So maybe this small wave here is just the beginning of what's to come. Maybe this is your A wave maybe till here. It's still not finalized. And maybe this is just an inverted flat formation. And I'm gonna maybe do the split screen so we can just see it. It's clear more. It will give us clarity of what Bitcoin will do. And just please, when the market does give you that pump, just take advantage, because the warning signs are there. Don't go all out. I'm gonna explain my DCA strategy, but just take advantage. So let's do a 1-day time frame on this side. And I'm going to show you these bearish flats, these bear market bearish, inverted bearish flats, which like I said in the book, you can find them in bear markets most of the time in bear markets, especially when they happen in big time frames. So this is your inverted bearish flat formation. So what usually happens is you have your waves to the downside like this, and then you have your C wave. So basically after a strong move to the downside, you have your A wave, your B wave, and then your C wave, which is an elongated C wave basically. And then after your C wave happens, what the price needs to do is, and the confirmation of the C wave is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move that Bitcoin does, or that tokens do, the impulsive waves to the upside basically. So this is one of the hints. So your A, B, and then your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then your C wave goes overextended to more than the 1618 basically. So what is happening here on the smaller time frame is that you can see that we still have that bearish flat formation. Let me go to the 4-hour because it looks clear more on the 4. So yeah, look, it's basically the same thing. It's just a copy and paste of each other basically. You see, these formations happen all the time. You have your strong move to the downside like this, and then you have your AB move. And by the way, your AB move can be technically, it can look like a zigzag as well, zigzag waves, which if you study Elliot, you will see. But if you zoom out, you will see that your bigger waves are made from 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so ABC, ABC, like that. And this confirms that it is your inverted flat formation. Now, what's more, what confirms it more is that basically that impulsive wave to the upside, which has these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves basically. This is what really confirms it. And if you zoom in, I think you can find these impulsive waves over here for sure. And after your C wave is finalized, so if we want to compare them together, this is your A, your B, and then this is your C, and this is your final C wave. And after that final C wave is formed, you do this retrace to more than the B wave. So you need to go down lower than B. So, and we did. So this smaller inverted bearish flat formation, I think has played out. It has been completed basically. I might be wrong because the extension says more than 100%. So we can form another pattern and go down and then finally form this inverted bearish flat formation. But again, we will know the signs when it's over for sure. And this, what I'm assuming, so the best case scenario for the bulls and the people who want to save themselves a little heartache for the next coming months, the best case scenario I see Bitcoin doing is that actually this is your A wave, similar to our crash right here, similar to this, where I said this is a huge A wave with a huge B wave, and then you're gonna have your huge C wave retracement. So we could be doing something similar to this, where you have your huge A wave, and now you're gonna have your B wave, which will take us to around that area, probably around that 50, 49.5, 51.1. If the bulls are gonna step in, right? If the market wants to attract as many people as possible, it will take you to that 51 region for sure. I'm not sure if it's going to attract a lot of people. I don't know if it did attract, because I don't think so. But if it does this, then it probably will attract a lot of people. And then after that, you have your C. And remember, your C needs to retrace to that 1618, which will probably take you to 38 or something, maybe. we need to see what's going to happen for price action. But yeah, this could be an A wave, and then we're gonna go for that B wave, make that 50K region, and then drop again. And if we do have this ABC formation, then that C wave can give us more hints on where Bitcoin will go. So basically, this is also some knowledge for the future. If we do this A wave, and then we do this B wave, and we don't break this, we do this V wave like this, then this is a lower low again, a lower high again, right? And then you have your low on this smaller time frame, and then if this, you're gonna expect this. And if the YouTubing space is saying that 38, and I'm gonna believe them, right? So 38. So this is a downward trend. So basically, this just tells you that your short-term bull run, which is this one, right here, from 19 July till here, the trend has reversed already. And if you're part of my TA class, you would know that this is confirmed already. You have your trend being broken with force. You're forming lower highs, and then you're probably going to form lower lows, and then you are going to have something that probably looks like this, most likely. The one that I have on my actual chart. So something that looks like that. A downwards parallel channel for Bitcoin. Now, the bullish thing for the bulls, the thing that I'm not saying I'm gonna say I'm bullish and we're gonna go to the moon, but I'm gonna give you the bullish scenario as well, because again, TA is probability and it's not certainty. The bullish news for the bulls is that this could potentially turn out into a bullish pattern where you on bigger time frames where you're doing something like that, right? And then you reach a certain level. And then you just break up to the upside like this. Okay, so the market can still do many things. The market can do many things. The best thing I can give you, or the best advices I can give you, is as long as the market doesn't break this region right here, this is bear land still. Now, if we don't know if it's bear 100% or if it's bull 100%, even though from my point of view, I already believe we are bearish since 65, and this is a corrective phase which will probably end around February or January or end of the year, around that area, February, January, or March. It will probably be the end. I don't expect 1 year, 2 year bear markets anymore. I don't see them coming, actually. I don't think the market will give people that is the satisfaction of being rich, 100x rich again. Especially that it has been giving that opportunity for almost 10 years, basically. So yeah, this is the bullish, basically the bullish basic scenario for the bulls out there who are watching the stream. We could be in a potential one wave for Bitcoin, wave one, Elliot wave one, and this was our bear market basically. We can. This is TA, right? So let's just see for fun. So basically, your B wave can go as much as or your second wave retracement can go as much as 0.85. So around this region right here. Let's flip the fib so it could give us clarity. So around, yeah, it could go to around that 32K region. But if you zoom out, so if you just see this like that, then yeah, this is a Elliot wave one. We're doing a 2 wave and we're going to go to the moon from here. But that's why you need to always zoom out. If you zoom out, you see that this is going here is just very bad for Bitcoin, especially you're forming this descending triangle formation as well. Now, my strategy for you. So this is our Bitcoin short-term update. As long as these indicators are showing bearishness, like the 4 hour, which is sloping up, as you can see, the ADX. As long as these are showing bearishness, we have to be cautious because the stochastic indicator can do this, where it goes for that 20 level and then bounce back down, which just indicates the relief rallies. The EMAs are way above us. So the 4 hour EMA, which basically just translate to the next day or two, are around 47 region. So if you want Bitcoin to at least be healthy, or at least to get back some profits from your DCA costing here or something, you need Bitcoin to at least go above 47K region, the minimum, the least. if it doesn't go above the 4K, the 47K region in the next coming days, then any price action that Bitcoin will do is probably something that like this and like that. Just go retest these EMAs and like that. And by the way, these EMAs, when they do this, if you go to your actual drop, your huge drop, I'm gonna zoom out here. So when we dropped right here, right, severely dropped, we wicked and we came to this region, which is better than this, which looks way better than this. It's a small candle on the 4 hour. Now it still needs 2 hours to close, so we're gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. But usually what happens after this big drop, right, you go up, right, and then when you're here, your EMAs are here. So basically, if you wanted Bitcoin to go to the moon here, you should have climbed in the next 2 hours over that 50K region. But what happened is that you kept consolidating because the lower time frames were choppy. One of them was bearish, the other one was bullish, and so on and so forth. And then finally, the 4 hour time frame EMAs just started to catch up. And once these 4 hours started to catch up, what Bitcoin did is a rally on the 4 hour, hit the 4 hour EMAs, and then bam, drop again. And then it started to use the 4 hours as resistance all the time. Resistance, till it broke out, till it started to go up above them. But again, it wasn't 100% because you could see that it was trying to go up and fall down, trying to go up, fall down, resistance, same idea all over till it finally had enough. It climbed above them, started to treat them as support, faked out, support, and then it started with a rally upwards, basically. So this is what you could expect Bitcoin to do in this move. If you want Bitcoin to be bullish again, it needs to start closing 4 hour candles over the 4 hour EMAs. At least if we want to give some benefit of the doubt to the bulls, they need to at least start closing, I don't know, it's so hard to say, at least like 45.4. 45.4, you start to close over 45.4 in that region over there, you start to have some better price action for Bitcoin. But again, don't be fooled. These might be just relief rallies because they always happen, especially in big drops. And the best scenario I can give you, or the best alternative, or the best indication of this to be a really a bear trap, basically, on these smaller time frames where you just hit the EMAs and you go down. The best case I can give you is the stochastic. The stochastic can give you a lot of information of whether this is going to hit and drop or not. So if you see the stochastic, for example, oversold for a long time, and the price is still under these EMAs, then just expect after these EMAs get hit by the stochastic, by the price, you're gonna drop, because the stochastic the gas is out basically on the stochastic. So yeah, these are our short-term BTC predictions. So our box is holding; it held nicely. I think I also placed the target on Bitcoin on the Discord channel around 42.6 region, that area. So I'm happy with that. Nice trade from here to 44, not bad. So now my DCA strategy for people so they don't get so scared. I want to see if everything is okay. Everything Gucci in the stream. Everything okay in the stream? Let's go. Let's see some people talking. I want to know what's happening in the stream. Everything going good? Any questions you want to be answered? We can answer them now before continuing. We expect we move to 45.4 before any further move. Not at least 45.4. Now we need to see the next coming hours. Like I said, higher time frames are looking very bad for Bitcoin, especially the 12. The 12 is not looking good at all. So this is your 12 hour, and I'm gonna show you when the 12 hour did this. It was here. You see? The ADX was curving up, and then you start to have your drops, basically. You started to have this lower highs, lower lows, till finally Bitcoin found its local bottom, or till finally the lower time frames and the higher time frames started to signal upwards momentum. So if this happens, then yeah, you're good to go. The best hour to look at if you want to see if Bitcoin relaxes or no is the 6. that 6 gives you a good indication whether the drop or the correction is over or not. For now, it doesn't look like it. These, like I said, are just relief rallies that happen on lower time frames, and you can see them happening. And by the way, this relief rally looks so bad for Bitcoin. Like I told you, you have your stochastic oversold already, right? Your squeeze going down, about to turn green, but your price action is still not pumping hard enough. It needs to pump more than this. It needs to be healthy. It needs to pump more than this. Now, it's looking better than the staircase formations that we're forming here, but this could be just another staircase formation on higher time frames. So we just need to wait and play out. But my best advice for everybody, so they don't get scared about the DCA, about the bear market. Bear market, I was saying that bear markets are actually very good, because bear markets is where you make money. But the problem with people is the greed. This is where people don't know how to control their investments. They keep watching YouTube and following this and that. YouTube tells you buy the dip here, you get lucky, you get profits, you're happy. You go all in again here, buy the dip, you get happy, profits. You go all in again here, buy the dip, you eat a 30K drop. These first circles that are here, this is luck. You were lucky. Okay, finally your luck turned out, because you weren't using any investment knowledge or technical analysis or anything like that. You just got lucky, and then you had your drop and you ate the 30K drop. So don't do the same in this area. DCA smartly. And I'm gonna just tell you a small piece of advice of my journey, so you can at least try to understand how I think about dollar cost averaging and how I can control my feelings with this. So let's say I'm a guy with $1,000, and I want to, and by the way, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion, my strategy, myself. I do this and I'm very happy with this. Bitcoin drops $10,000. I'm super happy when it does, because it gives me more time to slightly DCA more if I want to DCA more. So my journey began with crypto by investing around 100% of my capital, right, my portfolio, during the super lows. During these correction phases that Bitcoin was having, I was confident that the price was going to still go up. The rally was still there, so I didn't DCA in or DCA out, because I entered in a long time ago. But what I did surely is when Bitcoin broke the first 20K high around this region, right, and went to 42, right, I did take out my capital and I did take out some profits. Now, not a lot of profits, but I did take out some. And then mainly my main portfolio just stayed there. I didn't touch it. Now, when Bitcoin reached this area, I already had a clue that this is an Elliot wave. I already saw that the MACD is probably on the weekly crossing bearish. Everything was showing signs of weakness in the market. The structure, the buying momentum, there was no interest anymore. Retail is the one who's going to drive the market. Not Elon Musk, not Michael Saylor. Retail. Me and you, average Joes. We have over 6 billion people in the world. If you combine our cash together, we're probably the richest community in the world. We have more money than anyone, than even Bill Gates. So it's us who's going to drive the market. And if the retail is scared and retail has no more interest in buying the asset, the price is not going to go up. It's just basic economics. If you don't have demand and you have excessive supply, you're just going to start losing that price over and over. So this is what was happening in this price action right here. Some new retail which were coming into the market, especially those who were investing like in Shiba Inu and whatever and Dogecoin, were trying to push the price upwards, but retail just couldn't. And you could have seen this with the second lower high that Bitcoin made over here. So what I did basically, I had some money right here basically. Let's call it, this is my 100% capital over here. I had it. And then when this pump happened to the upside, I took I took out almost everything. I just kept around 10% in maybe. That's it. Why? Because the signs were too much. They were like 100% that at least we were gonna have a correction. I didn't expect to go into a bear market, but at least a very good correction, because we were having smaller ones. So like 20 and 30 and 10, they were not strong enough. So I took around 90% off, and then I waited, and that was the very good decision I made. And then after we saw I started seeing this weakness, I just waited for the whole drop to happen. And when I started to get angry at YouTubers around this area, telling people buy the dip, 47 cheap price, whatever. That's when I started my Twitter, and then I told people during the downward dip like this, I told them like 30K will be bouncing area, so don't be scared. And then we had this huge drop right here from 40 to 30, and people were panicking. Bitcoin was near 30. I told them, don't worry, the dip will bounce. And actually, believe it or not, I took a trade here, made a lot of money because this pumped like 50% with the alts especially. So this is some tip. When Bitcoin does severely dump like that, alts do dump like this, but they do recover like that. So this is a good place to ladder in some profits and take them out, because usually what happens is alts pump 50% after this wick, and then they start to dump gradually, and this is what happened in this area. So that's what I did. I put some money in, and then when this bump happened, I took it out, and this 10% I didn't touch. I just kept it there. And then after the formations were happening, I started to see patterns that were bearish. And I at least when I was there, when I was on Twitter, I was saying that I need to see 35 being broken, at least go up like that. And we got this rejection at 40, and then that was it for me. And I started to check the indicators, and I started to see the patterns. And okay, I'm like, okay, this is not good. So what I did is I myself and other TAs were expecting a drop to 20 before a rally up. That's what we were expecting, 2025. It didn't happen, but I did tell my Discord community, and I did this myself as well. If you're smart, you play both probabilities. You don't go all bear or bull. You do the smart DCA. So what I did is I told my Discord community to, as long as you dollar cost average near that 31K region is good. And I have a Discord, I have a educational section on Discord where I say this strategy. And I'm going to say it to you now. So if I have now 90% of my portfolio left with me over here, and I know that there's a chance that Bitcoin is going to correct at least 50%, right? If we are bear. So it will probably go to 15. So any money that I place in the market, if I'm buying Bitcoin, right, is going to be halved. It's going to go to half. So if I put 50% of this 90% portfolio, I'm going to lose 25% plus my 10% here, which is already at 5, so around 27.5%. I'm going to lose it. Or I'm just going to lose it in the short term. I'm going to be depressed for a short time seeing this 25% loss. And if Bitcoin does pump to the upside, and I put some money here, I can capitalize on that. So I started to think logically, if I'm going to lose 50%, what is the amount that I'm comfortable losing, or at least forgetting for a while? What amount am I okay forgetting for a while from this 90% portfolio that I have? Combined with this 10%, which is already something like 5% now, right? Because I left it in. So I came to the conclusion that if I invest around 30% here, it's a good idea, because total of 30% is a good idea, because if Bitcoin does drop to 50% region, a 50% correction, I'll probably lose 15% of this capital that I put right there, and I will lose it just for a few weeks or something, because Bitcoin will probably bounce after, right? So that's how I DCA'd. I had a 5% in the market, and I just added a 25% to it, knowing that this 5% can exponentially go back to 10% again, basically. I could get my money back. And if I don't get my money back, like I told you, I just lose a total of 15%. And I still have my 65% portfolio left, let's say. I still have 65 here with me. Okay? So that's what I did. Now I had a 30% DCA here. And then this pump happened, which was great for me. That's why even I say bear, I'm still happy. I'm still making money, whether it goes up or down. Even through spot trading, I still do make money. So when this pump did happen, I almost 3x'd my... So I didn't do anything here, by the way, just to be clear. These pullbacks, I didn't buy. It's not worth it. I bought the golden ticket here. Why would I buy these pullbacks? It just doesn't make sense. You bought, let's say, Bitcoin at 29. Why would you buy it again at 42 or at 47 or 48? These corrections that we had right here, they're not corrections. They're nothing. They're just smaller pullbacks. It's not worth it. People always wait for these small pullbacks to put money in the market, and then bigger pullbacks come and wreck them. This is where controlling your feelings and patience comes into play. And I told my Discord community way before this. I told them, just have patience, relax. You will have your 50 plus corrections, your 40 plus corrections, your 30 plus corrections. Wait for those to DCA in. Even a 20% correction would be nice to DC. So something along this region. So this 20% correction is nice to DCA in. It's not bad, but don't DCA at 10 or at 11, 15. It's not worth it. 20 is okay, starts to become worth it. 30 is very good. 40, amazing. 50 is the golden ticket where you have to DCA, but you just need to understand how much you want to put in or put out. For me, it was 30% of my portfolio. My 30% now became 90%. So I tripled my portfolio here with this small pump to the upside. Of course, I bought good coins, whatever. You know the deal. The good research. Do it. Do your own research. When Bitcoin was this, I messaged at this area right here. I messaged my Discord and I posted on Twitter. I said, guys, protect your capital. Take out some money. This month is going to be very bad. Just take out money. Protect that capital. If you're greedy, I told my Discord, if you're greedy, you want to leave 80% of everything in. Okay, leave, but at least take that capital outside. So if I had this 90% profit now, knowing that my capital was 30%, the smart thing to do was to take out the 30% out here and leave 60% in the market. That was the smart thing. But I'm going to tell you, but this smart thing is greedy. It's safe, but it's greedy also. Why? Because when pullbacks happen, you actually need to reinvest from this money that you have. You still don't have profits with you, basically, if you just enter the market with 100% here. Now, I had basically, so I could do whatever I want. But if you enter the bull run late, this 30% that you have plus the 65% that you have, you're still losing 5%. You still have 5% in the market somewhere. Okay? So basically what I did is this 90%. So remember, I have 65% of my portfolio outside of the market. So what I did is, when we were here, I took out 30%, which was my capital basically, and I took out another 30%, which is my profit. Because when this drops, I don't want to be sad and crying that, I lost my profits, I'm so greedy, I'm so stupid. So that's what I did. I took out my 30%, and I took another 30% for basically DCAing in. Now, if you add everything in, I have 125% profit, basically. Okay? Even though it's a small profit, it's better than people who are crying right now. My portfolio is red, I'm losing millions of dollars, whatever. So I have now this 25% now I have money that I could play with. I'm still invested in a market with a 30% investment of my total capital. I have my 125%, so I have a 25% profit, and now I have my 100% capital with me, so I'm Gucci. I'm whatever the market does, let it do it. I don't really care. And this 30%, if it's going to 15% right now, I don't really care, because this is just casino money. This is just free money that I have. And I'm still making money, even we dropped 15% right here. I'm still making 15% extra on this. So I'm still 40% up on my portfolio. And this 40%, by the way, is huge, because if you're investing, right, you invest with what you can invest. You don't invest with what you cannot invest. So if I have 100K and I can invest it, that's what I invest in. I'm a rich guy. I can invest 100K. I'm okay with. So basically, I invest 100K. I have now $40,000 with me. That's amazing. Very good profit. And I have still money in the market. I still have 15% in the market that I can take out whenever I want. So around $20,000 of profit in the market. When Bitcoin pumps, this $20,000 alone can times 2 again. And then I make 40,000 by doing nothing. Basically playing with free money. And that's what I did basically. So now I have 125% profit with me, and I have a 30% DCA'd in the market, which is probably now around 15% basically, right? Let's say we dropped a lot, or not 15%, depending on whether you have alts or BTC. It's gonna vary slightly for sure, especially the alts that you buy. But during these big drops, be sure to buy, again, not financial advice, this is just opinion, but be sure to buy large cap coins, tokens. BNB is very good. It's very safe for long term. Amazing. ETH, something like that. ADA, even though ADA, I don't see a very nice few months coming for ADA, and you can remember me in January or December. But yeah, that's basically it. Now, what to do now, right? Many people will say, okay, May, so now you have 30% in the market. You're probably down 20% of this. What do you do with it? Honestly, I don't do anything. I can DCA if I want. I can put some 5% or 10% in. I still have casino money, so I can do whatever I want. It's up to me and what I want and how much money I want. If I want more money, let's say, if this 25% that I have with this with this 20% in, because now it's 20, right? So this 50% profit that I have on my initial investment, on my initial portfolio, is still not enough for me. It's something that I don't like. Then I can think about inserting more liquidity into the market. Now, when do I insert more liquidity? I could have inserted more liquidity here, but when I insert liquidity here, knowing that this trend is bearish, knowing that I see bearish formations everywhere, knowing that I'm probably going to do an ABC, and knowing that I'm going to go to 51 most likely, and I reached 48.8, that's where I start ladder out profits. So I take my 10%, let's say, I want to be safe. I have 30% in the market. I take another 10% and I DCA here. This 10% doubles or whatever, does anything from here to here. I take out something, maybe 50% of it, something. But I don't stay here because I already have 30% invested in the market. Every time you DCA in, you need to DCA something out and leave something into this initial thing that you have in. So this 30% that I have in the market, it's always going to stay 30%. I'm never going to touch it. Even I put 20% here in the market, right? And now this 20% doubles, becomes 40. I will still take out an amount of money that will make me still have 30% in the market. Whatever that amount is, I'm going to keep 30% of my portfolio in the market no matter what, because that's the money I'm willing to lose. So if my portfolio is 100K, every time I make money, I take out money from the market and leave 30K in. As long as I'm in profit, as long as it's casino money. But the first thing as a smart investor that you need to do is take out your capital, that's for sure, and some profits when you have it. Once you do that, you can apply this strategy that I do all the time. Take out money, leave that money in. Take out money, leave that money, and control your feelings. Because that 30K that you're leaving in the money, in the market, sometimes you're going to see it become 15. But you cannot be sad or upset because this is your strategy. This is what you decided to do. And in bear markets, what usually happens is you have something like this. Just play the waves, but be sure to DCA out and don't be greedy. This is basically what I was telling people and what I keep telling people most of the time. So I hope you like this strategy. Again, not financial advice. I just want people to just have some awareness about this. I know that greed is great in everybody. Trust me. Greed is the thing that's going to make you lose money, not make money. It's greed. Especially traders, beginner traders who just go all in, wait for that 300% TP to take it out, and then the market does a reverse Uno on them, and then basically their profits are gone, and now you're liquidated. That's it. So be careful. Be careful with this Bitcoin move. Bitcoin is very choppy right now. The area where you can DCA in for that short relief is probably somewhere around that region. Somewhere around that is probably nice. Don't if you want to DCA now, in my personal opinion, just be smart about your investment. You want to put some money in, just be smart about the money that you want to put. Try to follow the strategy I followed or I told you about. It will make you profitable, but you need to have patience in this, and you need to not be greedy. If you're greedy and you don't have patience, you're basically gonna be screwed for the long term, because you're gonna see these. Oh, I'm gonna DCA more. Oh, more. Oh, nice. Oh, and then bam. So just make it worthwhile. If your coin is 0.2 and your coin becomes 0.1, then that's a good place to DCA, whereas you have your 50% drop from that coin. As long as you have a nice margin, that a nice cost that is going to lower your average price, then you can go for it. You can go for that. But if it's not gonna lower your cost price, it's gonna lower it like 5%. It's not worth it. Just wait for the market to do its thing, basically. Like you should have waited here, for example. If you DCA'd already at this first drop, which is the most profitable drop, by the way, you could have waited from May till July. Just wait it on that 30% and then let the market do its thing. But again, people cannot control the patience and the greed. So 0.8, 0.6. So it's just something that happens all the time. Okay, I'm gonna go to the chat and see what's up. Let's see what's up in the chat. So people are just God help. Oh, that's with the whole thing. Okay, so everything new is here. I expect range for now. To be honest, we just filled the wick from the drop before. We expect we move to 45.4 before any further move down. Yeah, so we took that liquidity from that drop. I agree as well. Like I said, you need to expect Bitcoin to do some kind of rally to the upside, but I'm not gonna say we're going to the moon from here till indicators flip or give some sign of bullishness. That's all I'm gonna say. So by that, you can go to small time indicators like the 15 minutes, which is nice place to see what's happening on the charts. And yeah, like I told you before, you see this ADX curving down, and you think that okay, it's safe now. You see a V-shaped recovery, but usually V-shaped recoveries have more pump than this. So there might be some pumps happening if the higher time frame indicators start to flip bullish also again. Your MACD is crossing bullish. You see here, that's why you're having this. But this is all the 15-minute time frame. If Bitcoin doesn't start to make slightly higher highs than this, it's gonna continue downwards. The first thing that it needs to do is break that, let's say, at least 45k region. In my personal opinion, 45 is a nice place to start to relax a little bit more for Bitcoin. But I'm not gonna say you're okay, you're good to go, unless the 1 hour minimum the 1 hour starts to do a curve like this on the ADX, the least. Because if it doesn't do that, it's just gonna be bloodbath. And even if it does that, you need to track your higher time frame indicators which are just flipping bearish right now. Like the 4 hour has just entered into bear zone currently. And when the 4 hour does enter into bear zone, and you can see you have 4 hours of relief, 4 hours of dump, 4 hours of relief, 4 hours of dump, 4 hours of relief, super dump, 4 hours of something like that, or 6 hours of relief, super dump, super. So either apply the strategy where you DCA and you chill and you let the market do its own thing, or just be careful to ladder out the waves. Now, sadly, the altcoins are going to suffer so much from this. We can go to the BTC market cap, total market, exclude BTC. So crypto total market, exclude BTC. So this is the altcoin market, if I'm correct, right? Like I told you yesterday, in yesterday's stream, this altcoin market is bearish. You have a double top formation. You have your stochastic going bearish, your RSI going to those lows, your squeeze indicator is actually green, and your ADX is curving down. So there's no buying pressure in this move to the upside. The upside moves were just rallies from lower time frames, and that's it. It's getting scary for this this chart right here is just not good. Now, as long as it doesn't break the level that we talked about earlier, so around here, you're probably not gonna see much. But if we do reach these lows, you're basically losing $500 billion or something along those lines in the altcoin market. So be careful. 500 billion is a lot. It's like a 50% drop basically from here. And if it does break this, now you start to become scared of a bear market. And yeah, it's forming kind of some divergences, even though they're exaggerated divergences. You have similar price, but the RSI or the MACD, for example, and the squeeze are lower. So basically, this is a divergence as well from price action. So you need to be careful with that, with the market cap. And the DXY, I hope Mr. Coinskid is watching this. I want to teach him some TA as well. Mr. Crystal Balls. I like his name, actually. I like the name he gives to himself. He gave that name to himself, but not me. I'm not making fun of him, just so you know. I'm not a bad person. So the DXY, as you can see, is super bullish, starting to go for that higher high. Once it does that, it's very good for the DXY. It's already bullish on the weekly time frame. This level right here is the level to break around that region for confirmation of this W pattern to continue. Let me see if it had some W patterns somewhere in the past, so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. So these are choppy W patterns, by the way, but they are W patterns nevertheless. Yeah, so something like this. This is kind of a good example. So you have a choppy W here, and then you start breaking with confirmation with volume. So there's your answer. This one is actually very good. This one is a nice, even though it was bearish, the EMAs were still not crossing bullish, but you had this W, and then you had your breakout over the neckline, and then you had your retest which held, and then it started to pump up, and it started to use the EMAs as support, as you can see, even though it was short-lived. But this short-lived rally, because we're talking about the weekly, right, is from January till November. So that's almost a year. So just be careful. The DXY is showing bullishness, and it's been showing bullishness for a long time already. On the daily, let's check the daily. Daily also bullish, which also is in confluence with the Bitcoin dump, by the way. Yeah, DXY is actually looking really good on the daily. Very, very good. If the ADX, you see the squeeze is starting to curve green, so that's indication of the rally of an upwards move. It will probably be finalized on the daily time frame if it does this. And the ADX curves down. That's where your probable pullback will happen on dailies. But if this ADX goes up like that, you can see what happens to the DXY. You can see. So that's very bad for Bitcoin as well. If it does this, if this goes like this. And I'm going to just check the 4 hour just in case, because it tells us day by day what's going to happen. And the 4 hour also looking good. You have your ADX curving up. It's about to pull back for sure on the 4 hour. Probably to these EMAs again. So to test them as support one more time. Start jumping on them, bouncing on them. It was already trying and holding, and now it had its first successful bounce on the EMA. And if it does have the second successful bounce by 21st of September, basically, then you can expect the daily to keep pumping the price of the DXY upwards. But for the 4 hour, which actually indicates the next 24 to 48 hours, it's probably going to pull back slightly, which also might affect Bitcoin's price by moving it up slightly as well. So yeah, that's the DXY. DXY looking good. It's looking very, very good. And last thing I want to check is BTC dominance. That one, right? I think it's that one. So let's see. The alts are gonna suffer so much if this goes up. By the way, just to tell you something, BTC dominance doesn't really mean anything. In a sense that if you see a lot of dominance, if you see BTC's dominance going up, it doesn't mean that the price will go up 100%. Okay, you need to combine that with everything else that you have. Now the dominance is looking good for BTC, which is bad for the altcoins. The only thing I don't like about the dominance is that is probably, this is the daily, right? No, this is a 4 hour, yeah. So the 4 hour time frame, the dominance that you see right here is probably for that buying pressure that happened on the lower end. So people are buying the dip basically for Bitcoin, and most likely selling altcoins, which is super bad for altcoins. They're probably bleeding. What I don't like is this bearish divergence on the dominance chart. So this is just warning signs also that this buying the dip is not going to be enough, but because there's no interest in buying Bitcoin, as much interest as other people think, and you combine it with this stochastic about to flip bearish, and you combine it with the with the MACD flipping bearish, you combine it also with a potential bearish divergence here as well on the RSI, then the 4 hour dominance is not looking good for Bitcoin, which confluences with the next 24 hours. And by the way, this is another tip about the squeeze indicator. If this ADX line continues to slope up and the squeeze indicator continues to slow down, then just be careful about a similar drop to the 52K drop will happen. So once Bitcoin dropped that's what really happened. It was going high. You can see here something like that, similar to this, where you go and then you curve slightly, you hold and you break, basically. So just be careful, especially if it turns green and it doesn't settle. If it turns red and it keeps going up, it's going to be very bad for dominance. So yeah, let's see on larger time frames. This is just short term time frame, like next day or two. Longer time frame BTC dominance. Let's see. Low, lower low. You have a bullish divergence for the dominance on the daily. So it's good. It's good for the next 10 days, which also explains the price action for Bitcoin, which we're talking about. So there you have it. It's not going to be very good because the daily dominance is bearish. So this bullish divergence on the daily is probably just a small rally like that, and might continue downwards because you can see the dominance, Bitcoin dominance, has been down since this bearish MACD cross in, let me see, in January. So since January, dominance has been falling, and it's been falling since it's being pushed down by this daily EMA cross here. And just remember, even though dominance is going down, it doesn't really mean anything for the price of Bitcoin, because in January we're actually pumping, but dominance is just going down. So just basically mean it was alt season. And if Bitcoin does this upwards momentum, just basically be careful for the alts. The alts are going to get destroyed. We have some gaps here that could be filled as well, and a potential W bottom. So it's going to be interesting what happens to Bitcoin. Dominance can be played either way, by the way. Dominance can just mean people are interested in buying BTC a lot, or people are interested in selling BTC a lot. But so just be careful, because like I told you, dominance was fluctuating here. It was going down, and sometimes it was going up, but the price of Bitcoin was also fluctuating with this dominance. And let me just check the weekly time frame for dominance. Sadly, we don't have a 18 EMA. Oh, we do. Okay. So yeah, so the dominance has been down since forever. Since January as well on the weekly time frame, and it's still bearish. Bearish time frame dominance. So this just indicates maybe for the next couple of months, people are not having interest on Bitcoin. Now you have a potential W bottom like this, W formation. If it does break out and you have your EMA crosses, your dominance is going to go up. But again, this dominance is just bad for the alts and the alt season. It's not gonna allow you to have good entries in profitable alt season, basically. The alts will not pump as much. If this does fake out, because the squeeze usually does that, then expect alt to still have an advantage over Bitcoin. But till now, not looking like it. Okay, chat. Let's see. Maze, you were saying something about 20k BTC on February, March next year, but you were rocking hard. We weren't able to listen properly. Can you please address again? Thanks, but okay. So let's go to my chart, which I have to readjust also now. I think it's this one. Okay, let me zoom out slightly. Is this my chart? Oh, this is not my chart. Sorry, let me just find my chart. Is it the BTC all-time hinder? I actually forgot my chart. No, it's not this one. This is the bullish scenario for the bulls for 20k Bitcoin. With the ABC correction, just smaller, without that much detail. Just a probability of an ABC correction, and then a third wave to that 100k, 150, wherever region you want it to go. And it's nice because it's in a falling wedge as well. So you can see it could be potentially a falling wedge for Bitcoin if Bitcoin does manage to go to these lows again, around 25k or something like that, and then bounce up. So it's looking good on long term for Bitcoin, not bad. But just let me check my chart. I have no idea where I left my chart. Binance USDT. What is this one though? BTC all time, is it? History. I think it's that one, no? Yeah, that's my chart. So my chart basically, so you can see now my chart is invalid. This fractal that I put here, I need to remove it and try to find some confluence with this drop somewhere. I'll probably do that later somewhere. But you can see that the drop was there. Actually, it was weird to the same level, by the way. So basically, I can just maybe remove this like that and just put this like this. And you can see it's perfect. Even the price action was perfect, spot on. I was just expecting more upside. I'm going to keep this right here because you never know what's going to happen. I'm going to change it later, but there you go. That's proper TA right there. I told you the price actions was good. Sorry, I keep forgetting. I have a lot of stuff in my brain. I don't remember stuff I do, actually. It's something that I don't like. But okay, so let's go to the zoomed out time frame to see what's going to happen in February or January or something. So if this is a bear market or a bearish corrective phase, and we do reach those lows of 20K, because we might not, and we might reach lower. We might not, and we might reach lower. But if we do reach these lows of 20K, this is what I expect Bitcoin to do after. And I tried my best to keep it in a logical time frame, so I didn't want to put much hopium for people in the world. But this time frame just basically shows you that if Bitcoin were to follow a similar scenario, which right now is just kind of doing just a little bit faster than expected, then I expect Bitcoin to reach that 20K region by around March. So January, February, March, give or take, because these are huge time frames. And then after that, I expect some type of V-shaped recovery on the weekly charts or something like that will make the price pump up. I also not guessed this, but I also analyzed this by saying that this is a bearish descending triangle, which looks like one right now. It's super probable and it's still super likely. We have a 1, 2, 3 touch points already, so it's confirmed. Even that one is considered a touch point. So if Bitcoin does go to those lows again around 20K region or 29K region, then this thing is more probable. Even around this area right here, around 30, 31, 32, it becomes more likely. And then if you get another rejection around this area right here, so around 42, like by December or something, this becomes more and more and more and more and more probable. So yeah, I was expecting this area right here to just like do a fake out basically. So yeah, BTC is in a descending triangle which break down more than up, and then you break down, end of the world, you wick somewhere to like 18 or something, and then you pump, you break the triangle, you test it as support, and you start breaking the levels again. And I made sure that I kept my price action, my pricing levels accurate basically. So this 42,300 region, I just kept it right there, and I just let Bitcoin find this as resistance, which I think it will do if we do manage to go to that 38K region. I don't think if we start going there, I think we're gonna start breaking down basically. And yeah, support being resistance being respected with pumps and supports, and then finally we reach our all-time high right here. And you can see the scenario I chose basically, where you break through the all-time high. You break through 55 first, and then you dump to scare people, and then you bounce from 48 again to 57, and then you dump again one more time to 51 and hold it as support. So basically the opposite of what we did in our rally. And then finally you start breaking to the upside, forming bullish formations here. You break your all-time high, you start consolidating above that, and then you just go up. You start doing the Elliot wave 1, then you have a huge retrace to like 80,000 from 100,000 if we do reach that level. So these levels will differ for sure. But the price action that I'm thinking about is going to be similar, because the market psychology that is here is going to probably follow to here, because people in 5 years will probably think the same way that people are thinking right now in this market right here. And then yeah, finally you will reach that area, that level, and then probably just correct again and enter a probable corrective phase. So yeah, maybe I would say, to be fair to people, around 19 November 2022, so which was all the time my prediction. Summer 2022, you'll probably see these highs again. And that's what logical TAs would say also, because I don't expect 4, 5, 6 year bear markets unless something happens in the monthly time frame, which I talked about in my previous video. Till now, it's not looking like that, so I don't think it's gonna happen. But logically, we shouldn't have more bear markets. The market is not going to give us chance to be rich again. I think this 20K region, what might happen if we do go there is probably some scare tactic to make people sell more Bitcoin or something. Some FUD, some government things. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm gonna buy Bitcoin there. At least apply my strategy there. Definitely, 30% in or something. I will never go all in on something unless I'm 100% sure that it's going to go to the moon. And there's nothing sure in life for sure. Anyone that says otherwise is a liar, basically. Even your favorite YouTubers who say, 100%, 100%. I remember BitBoy was saying 100K BTC by December. Now we are at 39. So maybe BTC does this. Maybe. So we're here. Maybe it does this. So December, by the way, this is December, right? 100K BTC by December means this. I'm gonna just show you how ridiculous these YouTubers are. Wait, hold up. Let me put this up more. This is your 100K, and this is your December. So I need to do this to the price of Bitcoin. Oh wait, hold up. Catch it from here. Okay, like that. So Bitcoin needs to do this in this time frame. I mean, I don't know. So it just needs to go, it needs to explode parabolic like that. Something like that. I don't know. You watch the market, you see Bitcoin, what it does. If it can do that parabolic thing in 3 weeks and in a few months, then yeah, you're good to go. Bitcoin to 100K, but I don't think it will do it. That's it for me. So yeah, that's my explanation about the 20K, and you can see that we will have bounces. Even in bear markets, you will have bounces, you will have relief rallies, but the differences between the bull runs and the bear markets, and I'm going to show you clearly what the differences are, is in the bull runs, this is where our bull run really started to take off. Everything before was just upward price action. So it was an impulsive phase. Bitcoin was starting to get gas basically in the tank, started to fill its tank with gas. This Corona dump, even though people say it's an anomaly, it's like, oh my god, but the charts showed it as well. So even before this dump, you could see that there was some bearishness happening to Bitcoin, and you hit your EMAs and you dropped. But anyways, let's go to the bull market psychology. So when you're in bull markets, this is what you need to see. Look, upwards trend, higher high. This is a daily time frame, by the way. Higher highs, higher lows, strong parabolic movements, higher highs, not much correction, 10-15 correction, higher highs. Then you have your first big correction. You still go up more. Your EMA on the daily rarely cross bearish, rarely. And when they do, they don't drop. You don't massively drop. So you dropped here around 14%. So you don't massively drop. And you dropped there 14% in 2 days, basically, right? And then, yeah, you go up, more higher highs, more lower lows, more higher highs, till you finally reach the end of your bull market, where you suddenly have this huge ABC correction with this huge inverted bearish flat formation, and then you have this huge bull trap, which is basically the third wave of the inverted flat formation, and then you start to see more weakness in price action and movement. You start to see your volume decreasing more. So these are some of the indicators I use. You start to see. I'm gonna show you the volume oscillator just so let's see it. This basically is a indicator that shows the amount of volume in a price. So you can see when you have today during the sell-off, huge volume. So this sell-off is legit. People are selling here. This is not a fake dump. This is people are selling. And you can see here when we started pumping how volume started to decrease. These are warning signs that you should take into consideration when you're studying TA. Your price is going up, but your volume is going down with divergence. So these are things that are warning signs, basically. And you can see basically in the second dump right here, we had a huge dump and huge spike in volume again. And then after we had consolidation, the volume started to decrease. Okay, then we had a good pump on this day right here. So this is your reversal pump, basically. But it wasn't enough, basically. The bulls weren't strong enough. They just were strong enough on that day. That's it. But yeah, the only thing I'm happy about for Bitcoin that will make me think that, okay, Bitcoin might go up, it might go up more, is that the squeeze on the daily is usually indicative of upward movement. But it could do this, where you had consolidation, even though you don't see severe drops anymore. You do see drops, but you don't see any more blood, basically, especially when the ADX curves. If the ADX doesn't curve, then you have to expect something like this huge drop to happen. So it's gonna come down to the ADX, whether it's gonna do this or no. And I'm gonna update for everybody this. I'm gonna keep the prices the same because I think they're very reliable. So this price right here, even though it didn't hit 100%, it's super close to it. So just $200 off. And I think all of these prices that you see, I'm going to even post them on my Discord channel because I think I did my proper research here for this when I was doing this. I stay like 12 hours doing that. So yeah, this is what I expect Bitcoin to do. And what Bitcoin did right now is this. So there, and you can see it's very, very spot on with the price action. So you can see, you can assume Bitcoin doing something like what this fractal is doing here. Maybe if I extend this like that. The problem is I need to study the graph. So I don't know, something like this maybe. If we don't do that higher low, basically. That 51 low, that 2 wave. If 2 wave is here, then yeah. Not saying that 2 wave cannot reach here. 2 wave can reach there if this is an impulsive 5 move to the downside. Let's see. So this is your wave 1. So wave 2 needs to retrace to like 0.85. So it still can go there. But usually it needs to retrace to a minimum between 0.5 to 0.85. I've said this always. I'm going to keep saying it again. Always these retraces happen to the 0.5 to 0.85 region. And Bitcoin, for some reason, loves this area between the 618 and between the 786. It always retraces to this 49.5 region, if you want to talk about it here, basically. And you can see it that it did that as well. I'm going to delete this because now it's invalid, basically. I'm just going to keep it. Maybe I can use it for later. But I'm going to show you here how the retrace also works. So if you take your fib extension like that from the top to the bottom of the drop, assuming this is the bottom, then you can see that it always loves this area between the 0.68 and the 0.786. Currently, this pump right here took us to around the 0.68 almost. We can compare other pumps and dumps. So let's see, to make sure we get accurate predictions with this. So let's see this one. So yeah, this your first high that you had, again, between the 0.618 to the 0.786. But again, these are impulsive waves, so you cannot really take them into consideration. You need that lows. So you need something like this, where Bitcoin does a lower low after that pump when it was in a corrective phase. So let's say this. So like I said, it's that region. It loves that region, the 0.618 to the 0.786. So that's why I put my wave 2 or my B correction to this area right here, because that's the sweet spot. Can it do it? Maybe. How will we know? Let's wait for it for a few days. Till now, it's not looking like it's going to do it. It's looking like it's going to do something similar to this, which is more likely than even this, to be honest. And then probably do that after. Maybe. Till the indicators reset, till this bearish cross on the daily starts to go to the upside again. But again, I just think it's gonna be a fake out and dump. It's gonna be something similar to this, basically, to this low right here. But instead of a lower high, it's gonna be instead of a higher high, it's gonna be a lower high, basically. That's my own opinion. If we do make a higher high, we start to talk about the bullish scenario for Bitcoin. But again, I'm not gonna be bullish until Bitcoin starts to break this area. This region right here. I'm not gonna say 59 because people are gonna say I'm crazy, but I'm gonna say this region right here. So 58 to like 56. If Bitcoin pumps above 58, holds the support and keeps going up, we're good to go. Your bull run might resume. And I say might because you might have the first double top market ever in history, basically. You always have to be cautious, ever. The only reason why people weren't cautious during this bull run right here, because the weekly indicators and everything else was super bullish and they were acting accordingly. So the indicators were bullish and the price action was bullish. But when your indicators are bullish and the price action is bearish or just sideways action, then this is a bear sign. This is that you need to do something or re-strategize your portfolio. And you can see that we've been talking for like 2 hours on the stream and Bitcoin is still at 43,800. So these signs are not good. Usually when Bitcoin does recover from a dump like this, the next day you're going to see something like a huge pump like that. And you're going to see during the day the close is going to be way above the closing area of this dump, basically. So let's wait for tomorrow. Maybe if tomorrow Bitcoin does something of a crazy move like that, then we'll start assuming that lower high can be reached. If not, then expect this sideways action. Just keep your eyes on the ADX. It will tell you so much. So yeah, I think that's enough for Bitcoin. I don't think there's a lot of questions for this anymore. Bitboy will say 75k by the end of the month. Yeah. Anyone who's bullish is going to keep lowering some targets and making some targets higher. So the best example I can give you, Coinskid, he said 100k BTC by end of year and golden moon pump. And now Coinskid is saying we have a possibility to go to 38 and to 33. So the bulls will always, the biased TAs, I'm not going to say bulls because the bears will always say the same thing as well. They will always keep changing their prices and saying this and that. Oh, if we go here, we might go there. If we go there, we might go there. For many TAs, including myself, we always stay cautious even if the price goes up. We say, okay, we might have some upside if we break this, but be careful. This level is a level that you need to watch. And this is what happened when the 47K region got broken. We started to talk and we started to say, okay, it's good. It's a good sign that Bitcoin is breaking the 47. But because history is different than before, it might do a stronger bull trap than before. Now, I'm not saying that Bitcoin cannot do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave to the upside and something along those lines, right? But if it does, the signs on the indicators will be more clear and the price action will be clear as well. So you will get something similar to this rather than something similar to this, where your indicators are still. So we just had a huge correction. We just barely pumped and then we just started to break down again. These are just signs and weakness in structure. Structural weakness and structural weakness in price action and in chart action as well. This is strong structure. This is weak structure. Okay? Let's go to the chat, see if you guys have some questions because I think I'm gonna head off. Check your Twitter DM, please. Okay. Yo, from Bangkok, my friend. Yo, what's up, Bangkok? I hope you guys are doing okay there. Hello from Chiang Mai. J15 said 1 million. Okay, tell him when I dream, I will give him his 1 million. Let's see. I really appreciate this section. Could be its own video. Thank you so much. I'll try to do something about the timestamps to make this video easier for everybody. So much about trading is all about emotional management. Definitely. This is a great mini course. Yes, it is. I'm gonna keep doing these because the Discord community also enjoys them a lot. And I'm helping out the Twitter community who also needs some type of guidance in these times. Yeah. EMA oscillator on weekly looking bad and worst on monthly. Yeah, monthly. I didn't even check the monthly. Let me check the monthly. Let's see the monthly time frame. Let's see. And let me see something. I just want to do a small experiment here. 1, 2, 3. I just want to do I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. Okay. If you study Elliot waves, and I hope you study it someday in the future, and if you go buy some book, which there are, and in Thailand, by the way, you can order from Lazada if you want. It's called Elliot Wave Principle by A.J. Frost and Robert Precher. Very good book. Very, very good book. Not super detailed, but very good introduction to waves and wave patterns and formations. So if you follow the book and you're a believer in Elliot wave, which usually do play out most of the time, because you can see markets do move in waves, right? You would know that each wave has a retracement capability. If a wave retraces more than a certain percentage, then it's just invalidated. Okay? So some YouTubers who are calling for 200K, and I direct this stream for CoinSkid because this is CoinSkid's theory. He said that this is a 1, 2, 3 wave formation. So you have your wave 1 to 20K, and then you have your wave 2 downwards, and then you have your wave 3, and now he's saying that we are in a wave 4, and then after this wave 4, we're going to fly to the moon, basically. Now, the only thing that he got right about all of this formation, I haven't checked this as well. Let me just... so this is our wave 1 and then our wave 2, right? So let's see. Just to make sure that we are confluencing what CoinSkid is saying. I'm going to go down to... it has to be around $1, basically. Because his wave 1 is basically from $1 to 20K. So I'm going to just... rough estimation, 95K. It's not going to make a big difference. So he got his wave 2 correct, his retracement, which is in the realm of the in the realm of Elliot wave for sure. He got his let me see. He got what about his ABC correction? Yeah, he got his ABC correction correct as well, which is this one. I'm gonna give him. You see, I'm not a bad person. I do give people credit when they do it. I don't come to other person's stream and start talking trash about analysis. So yeah, he got the ABC correct basically, but to be sure that it's correct, we do one more test for the actual waves themselves. So A, B, C. So let's see if C does retrace to the other place that it should have replaced. Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna take the fib retracement. Sorry, I have a sore throat. So this, and then this, and then this. So C wave needs to retrace to more than at least 0.5 of no, actually it needs to retrace to the 1 area, to the 1. I can show you Elliot wave. I can post the Elliot wave guidelines if you want on Twitter, if you want to check them out. But the C wave needs to retrace to at least one area, one region. So 100% at least, or at least 85% of that area. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say, okay, C wave has the chance to retrace because most of the time it does retrace to that 61, to that 100% retrace. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say, yeah, okay, it can retrace to the 618. So I'm going to give him this, so this is correct as well. Now we go to the third wave. So wave 3 can go up to 400% of wave 1, basically. So wave 1 is a $20,000 move. So wave 3 can go up to as much as 80,000. But that's the most it can go. After that, it needs to correct. So it could go anywhere from 1.5, so from 30K up to 80K. In our case, it reached 65K. So till now, everything good, everything Gucci. Now, what he did get wrong though is wave 4. Wave 4 actually in Elliot wave is the weakest retracement wave. It's the wave that retraces the least. So by least, I mean wave 4 needs to retrace no more than 50%. And I'm gonna I can let me see if I can prove it. Let me see. Give me a second. I know I have it somewhere in the Discord community, the Elliot wave section. Give me a second so I can show you the rules and the guidelines, which you can Google. You can find in any book you want. Let me see. Waves. Here you go. Okay, but where's the wave? I think it's here somewhere. Wave 3 and wave 4. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, I'm gonna share my other screen, my display screen, so you guys can see the rules of Elliot. Give me a second. So I'm gonna, how do I do this actually? I have no idea. Just change scenes. Okay, let me change scenes. Okay, there you go. So I'm gonna just show you this. These are the rules of Elliot. So basically, wave 4 can go from up to 38.2 retrace level, so 0.382. Wave 2 is the strongest wave of retracement. It could go to like 85.4, which I always talk about. And then you can see the rest of the, even wave 3, right? Some books differ, but wave 3 can go, usually it will go to the 1618, usually. But it can go up to 400 to 300% basically. Okay? And now if you go to the explanation of the waves, so here you go. So at the end of the wave 4, buying sets in the prices starts to rally again. Wave 4 is typically clearly corrective. Prices may go sideways for an extended period of time. And wave 4 typically retraces less than 38.2%. Less, not more, not up. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, because some other books, Elliot wave books, say that it can go up to 50%, but no more. More than 50, it's not wave 4. It's it's invalid. And if you want to check it out, you can just go to basically any what is called, any website or any book or any whatever you want, and then you can see this information for yourself. Don't let people fool you, okay? Don't let people misguide you. You can go learn for yourself and learn everything you want easily. I did it, you can do it too. So you can see if this is really wave 1 according to Crystal Balls, Mr. Coinsgate. So the retracement cannot go more than 0.5, basically. It cannot go more than the 34%, 34K region, almost. So actually our price did retrace to, I don't know, 29, so a big retracement. Now, people want to argue about the wicks. It's up to you. You can argue. I'm just showing you price action. According to Elliot, price action cannot go more than 0.382. And even if you go to the, even if you say, okay, Elliot doesn't take into consideration wicks, closes. Sure, closes more than 0.382 still. It's in the boundaries of debate. So no one in their right mind would start to say here, okay, maybe we will have a no, not maybe. No one will say we surely will have 100%, 100K Bitcoin by end of year. People would say, the ones who are educated enough, they will tell you there's a percent chance. No, there's a percent chance yes. And this is what happened here. And if you want to see that Elliot waves do work properly, we go to the 1-day chart, and we're gonna go to our corrective phases right here. Hold up. So we have our moves right here, our third wave. Okay, so this is our third wave, I think. Something like that. Something along, if you want to extend it a little bit more, I can do this if you want. I don't really mind. So I'm gonna do the wicks, so people don't say, oh, you took the wicks, oh, you didn't take the wicks. This is wave 3. Okay, I'm gonna show you how Elliot waves are valid. So 1, 2, 3, and then your 4 correction is actually here, not here. Okay, your fourth is here. This is an ABC. 3 and then 4 and then 5. Sorry. This is sorry. Excuse me. This is your 4. This is your 3 here, right there, and this is your 4 there, and then we need to move. So we need to do the retracement again. Sorry. It's no. It is. No, I'm correct. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, this is your 4. So your retracement is like I said. Let me see if I can do this. And I'm gonna explain why you see double tops sometimes. Why this is not a wave 4, but it's a wave 3 or whatever. So you can see that you have your 1 wave, your 2 wave, your 3rd wave, your 4th wave, and then your 5th wave. And you can see that your 4th wave retraced to that 0. So less than 0.382, as per Elliot waves. Now, if you want to argue and say this is your wave 3, okay, we can say that this is wave 3. We can try. It's not gonna change anything, because usually these waves have subwaves inside as well. So you can have your 1, your 2, your 3, your 4, and then you can have your ABC or something inside. For me, I think this is better, like this. It's more legit, because you have your 1, your 2, and then you have your ABC, because your 2, your 1, your 2, and your 3. Because your 3 in itself has also subwaves inside, so smaller subwaves, something like this, right, you know? And once it reaches the wave 5 on this small subwave to the top, or wave 3 basically, so wave 5 has to be here, and it reaches your wave 3, you need to retrace to that wave 4, basically. So basically you have your 1, 2, 3, 4 waves, and then your 5th wave, which is in confluence with the bigger 3rd wave. But either way, and the fib ratios work, by the way. So even if this is your 3rd wave in a small move, you measure the retrace level, it's still 40%, not more than 40%. So this is, for me, this is the legit one. But if you want to take this one to be the legit one, you can still take it if you want, and you can still see that Elliot will also work for this. So you can see it's around the 382 regions. So it's still legit. But for me, I'm telling you, this is the Elliot wave 400%, the 300%, and this is the 400%. Because after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you get an ABC. That's basically it. A huge ABC, which is in confluence with a huge move. And the fibs work, so you're good to go. Okay? Very basic. And now if you do that to CoinSkid's video, to his analysis, then this retrace is not valid anymore. That's why I changed my mind here, because it's not valid anymore. I started to research, I started to open books and to learn more and to refresh my memory on what's happening in the market, and then I found, I bet CoinSkid doesn't even know what an inverted bearish formation is, inverted bearish flat formation. That's why I want anyone who watches the stream, I don't want you to take my talk, my strong, aggressive talk towards YouTubers in a bad way. I don't have anything personal against him. He's the one who came to my stream and started trash talking my comment section. I didn't do anything to him, basically. But I don't want you, I'm not saying this about him because I think he's a bad person. I just don't want you to follow someone who doesn't have your best interest at heart. I don't follow anyone anyways. I always do my own research because I know no one will care about me and my money other than myself. I'm the one who's working for this money, not him or BitBoy or whoever's out there. I'm a normal person out here. I'm not an influencer or something. I'm someone who's gonna tell you how things are. If you see me in the street, you're gonna see me the same way I'm here on YouTube. I don't try to be funny. I don't try to spread hopium. I don't try to put thumbnails with my mouth open, with something with my eyes popping out, and I don't write in caps when I put a video I'm just a normal guy. That's it. Yeah, I think that's it for the stream. I love how the CK bash. He deserves it, man. He deserves it. I hope we go to 100K, and I only hope we go to 100K, not because I want him to be right, but I want the followers that he has, the 160K followers who follow him blindly, to make money. I don't want people to get wrecked. I entered this space to try to help people. What about good books and authors you recommend that explains waves best? Can you please post the answer in the chat? Yeah, it's AJ Elliot Wave Principle, AJ Frost, and Robert Prechter, something like that. I think you can find the book on my Twitter. Stream's been cutting. Sorry, I don't know why. Probably some YouTube thing. I honestly have to go anyways. Let me see. Is anything else worth here to see? Nah, that's it. That's probably it. Okay, guys. So I think that's it for the stream today. I hope you had a good time watching the stream. I'm gonna sign off from this. I'm a little bit tired. Have to go to bed. Have work also tomorrow. So I'm gonna leave you guys with amazing music, basically, which I really like. By the way, thank you for the person who sent me this. ZZ Top. Go watch it. The band actually. Alright, guys. See you again next time. I will try to do these live streams. See ya.
You know what I'm talking about.